Welcome. Sorry, I don't know why I said it to loop. I do apologise. Welcome, everybody. It's match day today. We haven't got a match today. Are we excited? Are we nervous? We don't know. I'm joined by my mate, the Sheriff. The new home of football is coming soon. We will talk about the two marks. We'll work out who the other mark is if you can figure that one out. Mark, firstly, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the channel as always.
All is good, mate. All is good. New start, new beginnings.
Yes, new beginnings, new year, new beginnings. We love that. We
Yeah.
love that. And big up to you all that have come over. Thanks to Sava for the redirect. Much love as always. Thank you very much for doing that. Firstly, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got to talk about a new contract extension, a new coffee and baguette and bakery supplier. Work that one out. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We've got a football match in the middle of all of that. Mate, we got loads and loads to talk about. But before we do that, let's just see what always welcome people in the chat. Big up, George. Absolute real one. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Morning to you. Good morning to Scott Colliver. Hope you're doing well. Tony Rodriguez, the Swede that doesn't care and says how it is. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Rinketic's in the house. Big up to you. Another failed upload. Big up to you. I remember when I used to put all the threes and all the numbers when in my title back in the day. Big up Joey Barton. Would have you in midfield any day of the week. Big up to you, my friend. Big up Mark. Hope you're doing well. Fancy seeing you all here. Yes, I presume you've all just come over somewhere. Scott M. Perchy out. Oops. Is this the wrong string for that? Yeah, later on. You can call it Perchy out later on. That's normally the rules. Who else have we got? Big up Kudos. Big up to you. Keith Shields. Barbaric Disdain, hope you're doing well. Who else have we got? Big up to you. And make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. I am going to put in, Mark, firstly, before we talk about stuff, new channel, new you, new 2025. Look, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, or well, a few minutes, just have a little check, explain what you've got coming up, because this is big, and I want everyone, I'm going to put the link in, whilst I'm doing that, links going in the chat. Make sure you go over and subscribe to Mark's new channel. Go, the floor is yours, my friend.
Right, now, me and Mark Cook, he's out at the moment because I told him to get on here as well, so we can both promote it. Me and him are starting a new channel. Well, we just decided to. We just decided to set up a new channel. There we go. Please, thank you. I think we're on about 45 at the moment.
Yeah, so immediately, look, there's over 60.
A long way to go.
Let's get them to 100. Let's get them to 100 tonight. That at least today. That's a start. I get the first 100 ticked off. Mate, look, can't wait. I can't wait.
No. It's just me and him. We're going to go on, have a chat. Nothing serious. We're just going to talk about Tottenham. You know how it's going. Well, badly at the moment. Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Strasbourg, Steve.
Yeah, big up. Yeah,
Thank you.
Go over there, Mark out. That's the
even if we can get 50 by the end of the day, that's good.
We've got plenty of people in here. Let's get to 100. Let's make it a real target. Look,
but it doesn't matter. We're only doing it for a laugh, man.
But isn't that how we're all doing it, right?
What
I'll do, let me just pin that on this. It's now the pinned comment on the thing. Look, I'll leave it at that. Guys, as always, like and subscribe to myself. Go and support Mark over on his quest to build his channel from the beginning. We've all been there, right? We've all started at some point, right? Look,
I can see some of the comments coming in.
Yeah, get all your comments in, have your laugh. But look, we'll move from there for now. Let's talk about Tottenham, because we've got a game today.
Do we have to?
It's normally why we're here, right? It's normally why we're here. Yeah. Let's talk Tottenham. Tottenham have a game today against Liverpool. The last time we played Liverpool at home, a cricket score happened.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen tonight? Because some people, I hear people, it's like history doesn't exist with some people, not in a bad way, but it's like we get battered by them and then everyone's going, man, we're going to win today. Why? Where's the optimism? For me, I don't understand the optimism, where the optimism is coming from. What do you make of it? Because I'm worried tonight.
Yeah, now I'm stealing this from what Saba just said on his show. Now, allegedly, I'm not anything to do with stats. Liverpool have got Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Who are they? Remember that
In
advert?
the cup, yeah, who are they in the
Yeah,
cup
who are
with a
they?
pint of milk and whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, really, I'm not even sure what league Accrington are in. Are they even a league side?
Yeah, yeah,
I would have
they're
thought, yeah,
League. I
League
want to say
Two,
League Two, I think. Yeah,
League Two. So, in all fairness, their youngsters should be enough to see them off, especially at Anfield,
yeah,
right? And so they can play. I would say they can play a stronger team tonight than they can
yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, whenever it is in the FA Cup.
I agree.
So, to be honest, I worry. It's worrying because,
Mm,
especially what happened last night in the other game, you know, if we can somehow get past Liverpool, surely this is going to be a great chance to win a trophy and end 16, 17, whatever bloody years it is
yeah.
of not winning anything. But who knows? Who knows? I mean,
As I said, Mark, I agree with you. Right? I think this notion. Like, I was in WhatsApp groups with friends of mine and stuff, and they're going, "Oh my god, I really hope that the Liverpool Man United game doesn't get called off because they're going to go full strength." I think Liverpool have built a team that can go full strength in games like this.
yeah,
Arne Slot will want that first trophy to start his reign off, and
I didn't
they'll,
think about
they'll
that.
they'll look at the result last night, and they'll go, "Fancy us, eh?" They'll,
Yeah,
but the thing is the weird thing is I have a weird thing that I think we'll get a result tonight. Not, but that doesn't equally mean that I think we're going to win the tie, because
no,
I think no matter it feels like we would need a Newcastle-esque performance tonight to go, okay, then I fancy us in the second leg. Because let's be fair with it, Newcastle yesterday were fabulous. No one can argue that Newcastle were brilliant yesterday, and Eddie Howe's a top manager and
oh
has
yeah,
proven how
yeah,
you do it, right? You don't have
yeah,
to go gung ho. You don't have to be super defensive. There's, as
no,
always, the great B word, the balance, as I always call it,
yeah. Well,
balance.
it's a mixture. It's a mixture.
They know the way to go with it, right? And I think that's such a key bit, right? That's such a key component on why they're very good and how they operate.
You've you've only got to look at what they did against us. They sat back.
Yeah,
I mean, what
and
did we have
that's
in that Newcastle game? 65, 70% of the ball?
But do you know
But
what? Do you know what though,
it
Mark?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That second half performance. Do you know what? Do you know what really makes me laugh? Right, and I always use the term context in these sort of conversations. Is the context when it comes from what Newcastle did second half? Everyone went, "Oh, Spurs were the better team second half. We had all of the ball." Newcastle let us have the ball because they went, "Do you know
But of
what?
course they did.
Let's take it. We'll take a foot off the gas here. Foot off the gas." And we will sit in and let them work it. What we should have done against Wolves. Instead, we played gung-ho and lost the ball and lost that midfield battle again and again and again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
look, can
It's the
we...
same. It's the same thing. It's the same recurring problem. It really is. It's like when we played Liverpool the other week at the Lane, and it was somehow we scored a scrappy goal and made it 2-1 with
Yeah, yeah,
5 minutes to go till half time. Just sit in. We were in the game at that stage,
yeah,
but no, we still keep playing the same way. They split us open, wide open, and they score a third before half time. Game over. Game
yeah.
over. You know?
Do you know what the terrifying thing is? Is a guy big up to you guys in the chat saying Liverpool go full strength. I don't even think Liverpool need to go full strength. Isn't that's the damning reality? Liverpool could sprinkle a Gakpo, a Jota, a Diaz, and then put in a Bradley, Kwanzaa. Do you know what I mean? Kelleher
Yeah,
in goal. They could sprinkle some sort of squad / academy
yeah.
players in, but still have enough to beat us. And it
The
doesn't.
thing is,
Yeah, go, mate. You go.
the thing is tonight, if we don't win by what, 2 or 3 goals, I don't fancy us at all at Anfield because we
Oh,
get
me
nothing at
neither.
Anfield.
Oh,
Nothing.
me neither.
We've only won there twice in 100 years. But no, is it? Well, twice in the league, I think. And we won there in the cup because I was there for the cup game when Klinsmann scored it way at the end.
I'm trying. I actually, when was the last time we won at Anfield? By the way, do you? It's so.
When was the last time we won at Anfield?
When was the last time we won at Anfield? Anyone in the chat know? That would be another one. If anyone in the
I
chat,
was there. It was the first. I was there when we beat them in the 6th round of the cup when Klinsmann scored right at the end. So that would have been what, 94?
So from that aspect.
Well, no. Someone's just put in 2012.
2012. Hang on,
or
let me.
2005. Kudos is coming with 2005.
One at Anfield.
And Sam Smith has said Wonder under Redknapp 2-0.
So here we go. 2 wins in 25 attempts at Anfield in the Premier League. When was the last? Wait, hang on. Here we go. This will tell us the answer. The last time we won at Anfield was. There's a lot of words, and less just give me the answer.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's just a lot of words. I don't need that. I just want someone to say it. There you go. Oh, 2-0 under Redknapp. Okay, cool. Yeah. And that was the era of Liverpool that were a bit of a mess, weren't they? If I'm right in saying, I'm right in saying that was like the Hodgson kind of era, like where they were like all over the shop. But look, regardless, like people saying 2012, I'll believe you guys in the chat and stuff saying 2012.
That's good enough for me.
But
everything you see on the internet is true, by the way. Anyway,
12 years ago was the last time we won at Anfield, and we've got fans going, "We'll get through, beat Liverpool over 2 legs." Based on what?
Yeah, exactly.
There is no context or correlation that makes me go, look, we've been crap for a calendar year, but we're going to beat currently the best team in Europe at the moment. Make it make sense over 2 legs. Look, the one thing what Spurs are good at, Spurs will pluck a random result out of nowhere. So, in context, there is a chance, right? Sort of thing where Spurs could go and lose 5 games in a row and then somehow win 2-0 against Liverpool tonight. Not saying it will happen, but it's something that could happen. But over 2 legs, that concerns me because that's the sort of thing where I go, we could go 2-0 up and be 2-0 down at Anfield in 10 minutes, and it's back to square one again. It's the sort of thing we would do. Yeah. And I think that's the key bit. I mean, big up Sam Smith now loves whipping out an Ange quote, by the way. Ange Postecoglou, whether he wants more signings. Oh, this is, by the way, this adds to Ange waffle. I'm gonna plan to write Ange contradictions. There's so many now. Have you read this? Have you heard about this? Ange,
I just don't want to.
I don't want to get it wrong. I'm really reluctant to bring in bodies just for the sake of it. This is the same manager that has been complaining that he hasn't got a big enough squad because he's got injuries. Which is it, Ange? Either you don't mind us having injuries because injuries are going to happen in football, but you don't want to just bring in bodies. Which is it, mister? Because I heard the contradictions. I'll never blame referees for bad decisions. Blaming referees. I'll never blame injuries for bad results. Blaming injuries now. This is a man that just...
Never throw anyone under the bus.
Never throw anyone under the bus. Yeah. 2 days later, throws Timo Werner under the bus. For me, this manager is just a walking, talking contradiction. Like, he just...
Well, I'll be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I watched a presser, a post-match show. Here he is. Here's the other one. You got the link, mate. It's in the Tottenham on Tour chat.
Yeah, Mark, if you want to come on, mate, you've got the link. You're welcome on the show. You've got the link, so come on. I'll be ganged up by 2 marks. That's a weird analogy, but we'll take it.
No, but I stopped listening to anything he says. Anything he says is just
I can't listen to Ange anymore. I'll be honest, I can't listen to him.
No.
Because do you know what? It's bad enough when I'm in group chats and I see people sending transcripts of what this guy said. And I go, please, someone has to get in his ear and say, shut up. Stop talking.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, stop talking. because
sometimes it's better just saying nothing instead of just
exactly.
spouting a load of waffle.
Oh, don't.
Yeah,
Do you know
you
what
know,
annoys me? Because people go, "Oh, well, you didn't like you." And you're saying this, but you also had a problem with Conte. I said, "Yeah, I did have an issue with Conte." For me, they're very similar human beings. As I said, I think a lot of what Andrew's saying now is a man under pressure. When Conte was doing it, was a man under pressure as well. So it was balanced. Difference is Conte
yeah,
can get away with it because he's got the credentials behind him and he's got
yeah,
the CV to go, I can be a little bit arrogant. This guy doesn't.
nah,
Winning the league at Celtic doesn't give you the credentials to
not
be
really.
Billy Big Bollocks attitude.
Well, it's already showed it. It's already showed it since he's moved here. All right, he probably. I don't watch Celtic a lot, I will admit, but like I take it was the same system, the same stuff at Celtic, and they ran away with the league. He's
But
not
they,
doing it here.
but they
It's
can at
definitely not
the
happening
difference
in the
is
Premier League.
you can at Celtic because
Well, exactly.
Celtic's transfer budget is 60% of the whole league's.
Yeah,
So they can actively outbuy teams like Dunfermline, St Mirren.
yeah,
Like they can outbuy those teams because they have that level of quality. What they are very good at is cherry picking the league as well. That's what Celtic do. By the way, I'm not having to go at Celtic. They are where they are because of where they are. But what Celtic are very good at is not only buying them from abroad. They'll go to Hibernian and go, "We'll have your best player." We'll go to Dundee United. We'll have your best player,
yeah.
and then they come in. And what that does is it doesn't not only strength Celtic, it weakens the opposition. So they have that monopoly effect.
Well, of
They
course
have
they
a
do.
they have a bigger monopoly effect than Man City do in the Premier League. Because at least Man
Yeah,
City have loads of money, but Man City can't go to Bournemouth and go, "We'll have your best player for 10 million quid." No, if they want their best player, they've got to play 60, 70 million pounds.
yeah,
They can
yeah,
go to if they went to when they went to Leeds and bought Calvin Phillips, for example, they didn't spend pennies to buy him. They spent a lot of money to get him in.
yeah,
Same
yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
do you know what I mean? So
Well, that's the difference.
what that does is it financially protects said club. So for example, let's just say hypothetically, I'm not saying it's going to happen. They went, we want Christian Romero in the summer. Spurs will go, cool. We want
100
120
mil.
million pound.
Yeah,
You know
100
what I mean?
mil.
And
Yeah,
then that conversation happens. Then he goes, let's just say 100 mil. Spurs are financially 100 million pound better off for it. So my
exactly.
point is that that's the difference. Celtic can go to a Dundee United and go, we'll have your best player and we'll give you £5 million for him, and you'll say nothing. And that's the difference. And that's
Yeah,
why, like, for me,
yeah,
that's
yeah, 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 yeah. Someone put it in the chat. Celtic are basically the Bayern Munich of
yeah.
Germany,
But
because Bayern Munich
Bayern
or the
Munich,
PSG in France.
yeah. But even those football clubs in those leagues still can't go over and buy the best player from, let's just say, Bayern Munich want the best player from Dortmund, or maybe
Yeah,
not. Put a bad example. If they wanted the best player from Wolfsburg, for example,
yeah,
let's just say Bayern Munich wanted Mickey van der Ven when he was there. Good example, right?
yeah.
They would have still had to pay 40 to 50, 40 million pound like we spent for him.
Well, yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? So you're still financially better offing, like you're not buying pennies for a player, for example. But anyway, enough
No.
of that side of things, right? But for me, is this manager now? And look, I will say it on this part. Does this manager have to win the League Cup now? Is it because I hear all this stuff all the time, right? With the manager going, when I hear all this stuff on the manager, oh well, give him for the cup. Like Tottenham have ever lived off winning a cup as a balance of where we're going to be. We sacked
No.
one of the greatest managers ever to live a week before a cup final. Why is that
Yeah.
now become the benchmark now for this manager?
To be honest, like with Ange, where was all this money when Pochettino was here? I
Yeah,
know we were moving grounds. I know we were moving grounds, and it was all tied up with the ground. But can you imagine what? All right, times have changed, and inflation and the prices have gone through the roof. But can you imagine if Pochettino had received the backing that Ange's had? Say he'd got, I don't know, what's Ange had? 300 odd million? Say if Poch had had half of that, what he could have got. Because you've got to remember the players weren't the ridiculous prices they are these days.
yeah,
I mean, we had a manager there that virtually got us within a millimetre of glory. And they binned him off because they didn't back him. He wasn't back. He never had a signing for 500 and whatever Cowlin used to say, 518 days, whatever it was.
yeah.
But Ange's failing and they're still chucking money at him. What other business does that?
I feel like we're now in a position, we're in a different era than the Poch
Yeah,
era.
yeah,
I say that though, in the point that, just so people don't get misconstrued, is what Poch was kind of, I would say, the last manager where European football was so paramount. And hear me out when I say this, because
Yeah,
I think we've passed the top 4 or bust era. And when I say that, I mean in the sense of we used to sack managers for finishing 5th place.
yeah,
We used to.
yeah.
Remember, we didn't necessarily sack him because his contract, but we didn't renew Harry Redknapp's contract for finishing 4th, but missing out of the Champions League because Chelsea had won
They won it, didn't they?
They won
Yeah.
it and took our space. They've subsequently changed the rules since then.
I was going to say, it was that year. It was the same season.
It was that year because
Chelsea won it, and we
Chelsea-
got kicked out, and they
Chelsea
changed the rule immediately.
Chelsea finished 8th or 9th in the league of that year,
Yeah.
won the Champions League, and then they took our spot because the host had to be in the next year, had to defend it basically.
We did get a payout though. We got compensated.
Yeah, we would have got compensated
Yeah.
because of the league position anyway, but in that sense.
Yeah.
But
No, but we got compensation because we never missed out on the Champions League money.
right, yeah, okay, yeah, I get all that.
Yeah.
The worry I have now is that we're in an era where Champions League money is not, and Kudos is a good point here. He doesn't need Champions League money anymore. When I hear this,
No.
well, we have to be in the
No.
Champions League. No, we don't.
Not anymore. No.
And we'll pivot onto it because I want to talk about it because I think it's fucking hilarious, by the way. Because we've just announced another partner. That makes us now this season, Mark, hear me out. We have now got more partnerships this football season than we have league wins this season. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I think it's either 12 or 13 partners we've had this season. 12 or 13, I'll say.
Yeah.
New partners.
Yeah, it must be. But,
and we've got 7 league wins. But isn't that? But there's a cynic in me, and people will go, "Oh, you're just being cynical." Is we confirmed Sun's extension 12 hours before announcing a new partnership with a South Korean bakery.
And that's just convenience. Or it's not convenience. That's just coincidental.
Big up, Steve.
What's going on? Nice to meet you, Mark.
Big up, mate.
I'll bring you in for things. We can have a little chinwag about.
That's just coincidental about the announcing them both at the same time. Of course.
Do you not? It has to be. It's not. Call me cynical. There is 100% a reason why we've done that.
Yes, of course there is.
And there's also a reason why we announced it at 9 a.m. in South Korea and not when the club of where the. And by the way, this is not me having to go at international fans, really isn't. But the football club is based in England.
Yeah.
Why is it being announced at 1 a.m. in England or whatever
time?
It's
midnight. It was midnight.
Let's be honest. We all know why.
No, we do know why. Of course. Because
I was doing exactly the same thing. It's all about the money.
This is the thing, right? And Steve, you're in America, right? And I'm assuming you have an NFL team you support. I'm assuming.
They're a
So
shitty one, but yeah.
whoever they are, I don't care.
Oh, it's the Tottenham of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I don't watch NFL. I don't give a shit, so I don't care. But imagine if your NFL club, because it wouldn't be allowed in America because Americans would lose their shit for it. Imagine if your club, whoever you support, NFL team you support, announced a partner at 3 a.m, for example, whilst you're in bed, announced it because they want to get the global partnership in. Let's just say it's Southeast Asia and Korea, for example, because that's what we're talking about now. And they announced that. Your fan base for that NFL team would go ballistic, going, hang on a minute. Your core audience is based in America. Why is that being announced then? It's mental.
Well, I kind of disagree just because of the fact that the NFL, and you said NFL specifically.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying anyone in America, a sport in America, it doesn't matter. I was just using that as an example.
Yeah, the NFL is getting international. Like in the season, in the regular season that just finished up, they played a game in Brazil, obviously in London, and then 2 in Germany. But also it would depend if your team is the Chiefs, who are the best of the best, like the champions, or if you're the Bears, a crap team.
But okay, I get that. I've got no issues with that, right? I've got no issues with the NFL being international and it being played all around the world. No issues with that. And the same, by the way, like I don't care when Spurs go to Australia for pre-season or South Korea. Yeah. It is what it is. I get it. I understand why it happens. I get it. Yeah. But that's like, okay, I'll use this as an example. That's like going, well, hang on, let's announce a football player that we've signed based on their nationality. So if we sign an Australian, let's just say I can't think of an Australian football player off the top of my head. I mean, let's just say we sign the next Tim Cahill. So it's only one for some reason that popped into my head. We sign the next, but we announce it based on it being midday in Australia. That's not how it should work. Do you know what I mean? That's not how it should work.
I mean, I think it all depends, because here's the thing. When your team, regardless of the sport, when your team is doing really, really good, you'll let things slide, or it just doesn't matter because you're in the playoffs and you're doing
granted, right. If we were top of the league, I don't think anyone would care.
Nobody would give a shit.
No one would give a shit. Agree.
You're right. It might irk some people because it's like, yo, your priorities are all skewed. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That example you just used, that's nothing compared to the way you use your stadium. Yeah. That is egregious. And it's very clear that they don't really care about the football team too much.
No, of course they don't. The football. Yeah. The football has become. Yeah. Go and sub to Steve, brother. Make sure you sub to Steve. But Steve, I agree with you. Right. Look at it in the last business quarter, like using it business terms. What has happened? What are the last 4 big things that have happened at Spurs in the last 4? Suns extension, that's just happened.
Yeah.
Paris patisseries, or whatever they're called, Paris bakery, or whatever they're called. They're in. Paris baguettes, that's the one. What's the other one? We had a recent South Korean bed manufacturer join our.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And what was the other one? A big Netflix show called Squid Game 2 being taken over.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course.
So 4 massive partnerships / things, in the sense with some will call Sun a partnership, you know what I mean? It's still part of it.
Most of the things you hear about our club, though, is all about money and new partnerships. Yes. It's never about, suddenly, for instance, we've signed Messi. Or, I mean, I can remember the day that we signed Klinsmann. You were like, he only just popped out in the World Cup in America. And you were like, wow.
Didn't you sign a decent Romanian player from that World Cup team?
Can I just pull something up? Big up Cam Timney in the chat. according to this is brilliant, by the way, and I'll break this all apart for 1 second. According to Wikipedia, Exercise fan base club claims to have 3 million fans in the UK, fair enough, and over 180 million in the world. I don't know if that's really. I don't know.
No. I was always led to believe the Tottenham fan base was about 30 odd million.
For the conversation here, I'll let that slide and say this is true. I don't think we've got 180 million fans around the world. Fine, that's fair enough. But
how many people live in South Korea?
But no, a lot of South Koreans support Spurs. I know this for a fact.
Well, yeah, that's obvious.
Understandably. But by the way, this is not me having a go with fans that live around the world. You're allowed, due to what I believe in free spirit and free engagement, you can support whoever you want at whatever club, whatever. The biggest issue is that the core fan base, we can say that core is smaller and smaller, but without local and historic fans, legacy fans, whatever they want to call it, people that have been supporting the club for donkey's years, that's fine. But they're the ones that go into the stadium and packing it out. They're the ones that have to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds. But I don't put myself in that bracket. I don't put a penny into the club anymore.
No, I don't.
For my own personal reasons of the club, I refuse to give a penny. I even give the last thing that survived for me. The last thing that survived was the membership, where I was paying, until I realised what an absolute scam that is. By the way, scam.
Oh, well, that one Hotspur stuff.
Yeah, that was.
It doesn't that doesn't guarantee you a ticket. It just means you might have the opportunity to get one.
No, Mark. I say it's a scam because you can't even buy. You can't buy tickets unless you've got one.
No, I know.
So that's how I. That's like.
But then you're not guaranteed to get one.
Yeah, I agree. But at the moment, you are. I mean, you could literally walk in and.
No, you're not. Well, all right.
Right now, you can.
At the moment.
So many tickets. Right this second, I'm talking about. My point is in the theory of it, though, the theory of it all is Spurs are basically saying to you, going into Tesco, let's call it Tesco, and they say, hang on, if you want to walk in it, that's a tenner. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to be buying stuff from your shop. No. That's £10 to walk into our shop. What? What other industry allows that to happen?
Well, the last time I looked, there's a one Hotspur member and there's one Hotspur Plus. I think the one Hotspur was like 40 odd quid a year. And the one Hotspur Plus is like 50 odd. And that does not, so that means you give them 50 quid, say, for the one Hotspur Plus, just for round figures. It might be more. You give them 50 quid for the year. That does not guarantee you getting a ticket.
No.
Because there's no way you'll get a ticket for the Arsenal home game.
But what
or Chelsea at home.
Do you know what they do, Mark? And this is the one thing that, like,
it's rip off.
The only reason I kept mine, even though I moved to Spain, the reason I kept it was shortlist on the
season ticket
thing. So basically, what you're saying is I have to spend 50 quid a year to
at least
like keep my place in line.
Yeah, but
I was in the top 3,000, so I was getting offered season tickets every year. And I
was going to say, from what I've heard, even that's a bit of a fallacy, because I was on a show with people and they said, well, I was like 9,000 on the list and I got offered a season ticket.
I just want to pull something up on the chat, by the way. And one thing I'd massive. Publish Levy's home address. No, I would never dox anyone. That is what a cunt would do. Fuck that. No. I can't stand Daniel Levy, but doing shit like that is wrong. And I would never approve of that, mate.
No,
big up future music.
Not.
I would shit like that. Look, the one thing that I miss a lot of, and I hear so much volatility about it. I can't stand Daniel Levy as a businessman. I don't hate him as an individual. He's a human being.
I would never attack his family.
His family would be in that home. His children or whoever will be in that home.
I'm not sure.
That's wild.
I know he's got a missus. Has he got kids? I don't know.
Wait,
I don't like him as a... I don't like him as an owner of the club.
Yeah. As an advocate.
Right? His principles and his money grabbing like thing that he does. but I would never.
That's
I would
mad.
never advocate like breaking into his house
It's
or
wild, isn't it, man?
publishing his address on. No, it's completely out of order. For a
That's
start, he's probably
wild.
got security there anyway.
But it's wild. Like, look, by the way, look, I don't advocate for stuff like that because I don't, what's it going to do? When you do stuff like that, what that does is it actually fuels this man. Doing stuff like that actually fuels people like Daniel Levy, and people don't realize it. I think people are slowly understanding when stuff like that. But as I say, the time was, if you wanted Daniel Levy to go, the time was a long, long way back.
It's too late now.
The time's too late.
I said it on the other channel. Right, the time to get Levy out is long gone. Long gone. Because you look now, he's built the shiny new. He has built now the shiny new cash machine. Because basically that stadium is just a license to print money. You can't even. Right now, I've been there.
I call it the £1 million ATM, mate. Because every time you use it, it prints £1 million. That's what happens.
What have I been there? I've been there 5 times, I think. 5 times I've been there. Right, you cannot even spend. This is how the clubs run. You cannot even spend cash in the stadium.
No, it's cashless. Yeah, it's cashless.
Right? Yeah, it's cashless. Because I went to the thing and I had like a £5 in my hand or a £10 in my hand, like to get beer. And they said, "No, mate, cashless." Right? So that, well, from what I'm not saying that all like employees are thieves or nothing like that, but if it's only cashless, it saves, like, if you're selling like.
Yeah, but do you know what cashless is?
50,000 beers. If you're selling 50,000 beers behind the bar, like, a lot of employees just stick some of it in their pocket.
No, that isn't the reason why. Do you know what the reason why they do cashless? Psychology. It's psychology. Because
that as well. Because if you can't see the money disappearing out your pocket,
you can't see money in transaction. They say ever since cashless has come in, people are spending more and more money on it because and money that they don't have sometimes, because you go to a bar and you pay 20 quid on the bar, but you don't see that physical £20 hand over.
Yeah.
So
I will admit,
you swipe. You just swipe mindlessly.
Because you know what?
I'm very much like that.
No, we've all been there, by the way. I've been on nights out. I've been on nights out. It is what it is, right? I've been on nights out where I pay cashless. You pay cashless on nights out, and you get home and look and go, "What the? I've been doing last night. I've been 100 quid for a bar round. Like, what are we doing here? Like, but that's what it is. That's what it's.
I will admit, I've been the same. Like, I've been in, not so much anymore, but I used to go to like pubs and that. And if you had a few quid, if you had a few like money in your pocket, you'd be like, well, poor, But I've been places where it's cashless, and I've just gone ding, 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 and you suddenly get home, like, and you think, where's that gone? Where's that gone out my bank? And it comes up like the pubs we were in.
Mate, I agree. Big up Ben, by the way. Enjoy your trip, mate.
Is he there now? Is he in?
I mean, it says he's on my travels. Are you there, my friend?
Is it France or something? France, wasn't it? He was going to.
The coffee company is off to go to Paris Baguette,
on tour.
I believe.
Coffee company on tour. But allegedly, breaking news for Mr. Kaufman, that coffee nonsense is rubbish anyway.
Well, friends of mine that actually have been to South Korea said they like it. They used to go there, so
all right.
So they said they really enjoyed it. So I don't know.
I bet it's still not as good as Ben's coffee.
No, that's true. Big up Jimmy Bates. Sorry, it's never too late, but who would have said 3 months ago? But that's different, man. Politics and a business are two different things, man. Massively different, right? For me, like we can talk about. I don't know. We're not going to talk about politics. I make it very adamant. I don't want to talk about politics because it's too controversial and it's not worth having that discussion.
You always upset somebody if you talk
You'll always
about
upset someone if you upset it, and that's the thing. I'm not here. We're not here for that. We're talking about Tottenham, right? When you say it's never too late, it's never too. But it is. What position? What position? Is Daniel Levy going to sit there and go, "I better sell now"? At what level?
Never.
Does everyone not have to be in the stadium? Well, they've already found a way where they can make their money already on that anyway. Because even if you don't turn up, you can't sell your ticket.
No.
So they've already got the money.
Yeah. Well, I said ages ago, right? I said ages ago. Now this stadium is built, there's no hope of him going anywhere.
What?
Absolutely no hope.
He will go. He will go on his own volition. When the time is right for him and Enoch, it's not just him, by the way. This is the one thing that always But when you say a pitch invasion,
that's rubbish. Absolute nonsense.
What's that going to do? Yeah, look, granted, it'll get on Sky Sports. Great, cool, and the pitch invasion like Man United did. That wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason why they sold. That wasn't the reason why they sold.
Because they got offered the money.
And by the way, the Glazers are still there.
The Glazers are still people in charge, right? Do you know what I mean? They're still the biggest stakeholder in Man United. My point is money talks, and when that figure is hit, the problem is just to touch on what Mark said. Mark's bang on with this, right? Mark's bang on.
I always am.
They are, yeah. They're going nowhere because do you know why? There's not a consortium or a group of people that have enough money to buy us at the moment. You can't just fizzle out and find somebody that has 4 billion in their back pocket, 5 billion in their back pocket.
I'll have a look behind the settee.
And then go.
Bro, Levy would want like 8 billion for Spurs.
Regardless, right? For me, regardless of what it is, right? I think for me, it's regardless. I'm just plucking a figure out in the air, right? It's regardless. But then the argument would be, and I'll always say, and I don't mean it before people go, well, Perchy's this guy. It's not what I'm saying, but hear me out. That you're then basically picking out someone that has that level of money, and then what you need to do is find someone that actually cares about Tottenham. Sorry, hang on. I've just got to ban this guy. This guy's an absolute weirdo in the chat. I'm not going to put it up. It's weird.
Yeah. I wonder what that was.
Yeah, I just saw it at the corner of my eye and I was a little bit weird. But anyway, ignore that. That absolute odd human being. People are strange, aren't they? But what I will say is then what you're looking at is then you want to get somebody in that puts the club. Because what has Daniel Levy done brilliantly? Whether or not we like him or not. No, Jimmy, you don't have to apologise, mate. It's fine. I just don't want to talk about it. It's just because it's just got too unnecessary. But my point is what has Daniel Levy done better than anyone else?
The business.
He's built the infrastructure of a business that makes a fuck ton of money. So
the next person that comes in and says, we'll just follow the blueprint because we're going to make money, baby. Yeah, exactly. Right. Now you've got to remember how much when Enoch first turned up, there was a thing with Daniel Levy, a news bulletin, and he said, "We are here to make money." That's the first thing he said. We are here to make money. We see football as a way of making money. It was nothing to do with we're all Spurs fans. We want to take them to the top and win trophies. No, we're here to make money, right? And I think I haven't Googled it. I don't know, but I think they never bought Tottenham for a lot. 20 odd million, 30 million, maybe.
Yeah. They didn't buy a lot.
It wasn't a lot. So they've taken their £20 million investment.
I don't even think it was 20 mil. I think it was less than that.
Oh, was it? Well, I was just guessing at that in case someone called me out in the comments. But they've put their, all right, it's still a lot of money, £20 million, but like it wasn't 200 mil kudos, definitely not. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was 22. It was £22 million. You're bang on.
There we go. And so they've taken their £22 million, and now it's worth 2 point something billion.
Well, it says on here that the first part was 22, and then the second part was 25. So maybe 40 million it was. So they did it in
50 mil for round figures.
Call it 50, yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah, 50 mil for round figures, and now it's worth what? So many billion?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So they've
5, 6, 7, 8 billion, yeah.
Well, the club will probably only actually be worth, say, 2 billion. But for him to sell it, bearing in mind all the money that stadium is capable of making him in the future, he's going to want 4, 5, 6, 7, just insert a number, billions of pounds.
Yeah.
He's just not going to sell it for what it's worth, because that stadium.
It's not just he's not going to sell it though. The question is going to
It's
be
got
who
that
could buy it?
That stadium has got the prospect to make Christ knows what. Insert numbers.
Yeah.
Insert numbers what that stadium can make. You look at what goes on there: concerts, boxing, rugby, F1, the go-karting thing. Like, put it this way, I don't give a monkeys what they do with that stadium as long as it's empty when we play football there. I don't give a monkeys, I don't give a rat's what they do with it. Right? They can use it. They can use it 330. They can use it 330 days a year. As long as it don't involve when the football's going on, say you got 20, 30 days of football being there, I don't give a rat's ass what they do with the stadium. As long as the money comes back in and gets spent on the football team.
Mate, because I absolutely agree with you. I agree.
Know what I mean?
No, as I said to you, you're spot on with that, and that's the thing. I always agree with you when it comes to things like that. Like that's why
I'm the voice of reason.
That's why I don't like talking about Levy, because for me, I find it such a boring conversation, because for me, it's going to make no difference. And the thing is big up Daigle, I'll bring Daigle into this for a second, because me and him had a little chinwag yesterday about stuff. And obviously, the one thing that I can understand why Daigle's frustration is with this whole thing at the moment is now we've got, I would say, flip-flops now saying, "Oh, Levy out because he's not backing the manager." We've seen this happen before. It happens all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it this manager now all of a sudden everyone wants to change their mind on it? For me, I think it's silly. It becomes really, really silly. Look,
put it this way, right? Put it this way, right? I am Levy out.
Yeah,
I am, because of the way he's ran the football side of the business. I don't give a monkey's how much money he makes off the pitch. That's no concern of mine. I remember when I was a kid, when my dad used to take me to Tottenham, I didn't know who the chairman was.
Yeah.
It was Irving Scholar, I expect, but I didn't have a clue who the chairman was. But now Daniel Levy is more famous than the bloody football club, right?
He is.
And yes, he's made an absolute mint gentrifying Tottenham and what he's done with the stadium, raking money in, right? But that means absolutely nothing to me. The thing is, you're not going to get rid of Levy now. You're not.
Nope.
Whatever anyone does, and big up to all those that protest. If I could get there, I would. And I mean that, because every time I've been in, there's been a protest on, I'm stood there with him. Ben Coughlin will back me up if he's still in the chat, because he saw me at one of them. But the time of getting Levy out, the thing I want Levy to do is suddenly realise that it's not a bloody cash machine.
Yeah.
That the success of the football club actually means something to your paying customers that go and bloody watch the thing.
But here's the question mark, right? And look, I will wrap it up, because I hate talking about Daniel Levy, but I will.
Yeah. It's pointless. It's pointless talking about him.
You want to talk about Rashford to Tottenham?
We're going to talk about that. Don't steal my thunder. It's not your channel. I'm joking. I'm taking a piss. What I will say on this, though, and to wrap that bit up, what you just said there, Mark, do our fans really care? We talk about Daniel Levy. Do our fans, the fans that we've got now, the sort of, do our fans, and it falls into the gentrification, right? Do our fans genuinely care that much anymore?
People like me do.
Yeah, I'm not talking about people like you. I'm talking about the newer generation of fans.
Yeah, no.
Do they care anymore? Because the problem what's happened now is the next generation, the generation after me, haven't seen Tottenham win anything. Haven't. And do you know what's equally scary? There are fans now that support Tottenham that will be 18 this year that weren't born when Tottenham last won a trophy.
That's sickening.
I mean, it could be worse.
Is it
There's
no? Wait,
16.
no, that was 17. Sorry, there's 17-year-olds. Wait, we won it in 2008 to
Yeah,
So
25 is 17.
17-year-olds this year growing up. That'll be their 17th birthday. That were born before Tottenham won a trophy. Born after when Tottenham won a trophy. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. And that's the problem, right? And this is the issue, right? And as I said, we'll move on from it. This sort of level of people moving now and pivoting. We're going to have like the fans like we've seen Newcastle fans have for generations. No offense, Steve, that were born and not seen their team win trophies. We're going to start falling into that era where a club that like the size of Newcastle, and I think Tottenham are a bigger club than Newcastle, statistically and historically, but Newcastle fans haven't seen them win a trophy for... When was the last time you guys won a trophy, Steve?
50 odd years?
55, 56 FA Cup. We beat
55, 56.
Yeah. That's 70 years.
There's grown adults that haven't seen their team win a trophy. And look,
there's people that's just been born and died probably. That haven't.
A lot of people.
My God.
Look, we'll move on quickly. What I'm going to say here, though, guys, is first of all, go and subscribe to Mark's channel. It's the pinned comment. Make sure we get Mark. Where are you at now? Come on. Are we at 100?
Hang on. I would. Let's hope so. Hang on, it's loading. I just got to search for 55. So we've gained 10. Thank you very much.
45 of you in the chat. There's over 80 of you in here. There must be 45 of you that haven't gone and subscribed to Mark's channel. Come on, there you go. 55. That's 45. We will not end the show until we get to 100. That's the rules. Get Mark to 100 today. I've
just popped the link in.
Yeah, that's Steve's. That's Steve's as well. But there's Mark's there. So go and subscribe to Mark's channel. That'd be wicked. And go subscribe to Steve, of course. But if you want to go and watch FC Plovdiv versus FK Riyadh or whatever they're called, I don't know.
Can I tell you a true story now that I was actually sad?
You can tell your story and then we'll move on to some news.
Yeah, right. Now, my grandson is 1 on Sunday. Yep. Big up my grandson.
Up the grandson.
Right? I had to get him a birthday present. Right?
Yeah.
Now, he lives in Plymouth. Right? With my daughter and her partner. And I thought, shall I get him a Spurs kit? And I thought, no, I can't. No. 1 second.
Oh.
This is his birthday present.
Oh, mate, up the Argyle.
It's a Plymouth kit. It's a Plymouth kit, right? Right, all right, they're crap and they're probably going down this year, but it's his hometown club, right? It's his hometown club, right? And they'll probably win League One next year, right? To be honest, right? And so I thought, now honestly, it broke my heart. I thought, I cannot force 80 plus years of misery on the poor lad supporting Tottenham. I can't do it. I'm not passing on my defective genes to him. Like supporting Tottenham. Honestly, obviously I love my grandson, but I can't force him to support Tottenham.
I don't blame you. Look, listen, this is the one.
Why inflict the misery on the poor lad?
The way the club has become right now is just it has been like that. Look, mate, fair play to you. I credit that. That's
No, it broke my heart. Honestly, it broke my heart. That I was, because as soon as he was born. And I had a phone call from my daughter. Oh, you got a grandson? I was like,
tears running down Mark's face.
Yeah. Well, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. But you know, I was like made up with it, and I thought, and the first thing I said to her, the next generation of Tottenham fan, and she said, no bloody way.
Oh, fair. Look, credit there. That's a wholesome story. We like.
No. But honestly, it broke my heart. It broke my heart not getting him a Tottenham kit.
No, mate, I completely get that.
But
guys,
I can't force him.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Don't
I'm
blame
not
you.
forcing him into that misery.
Yeah. No, okay. So I just want to guys in the chat, by the way, I just want to say, as you see down the bottom there, get your questions in. Simple Q. I'm starring anyone that's put a question in. I want to put some questions in. We'll answer them later on. So they are being starred. So, but please put the Q in front. I won't star them unless they've got a Q because otherwise I get a bit lost. Look, let's talk some news. We'll do the questions a bit later. I like doing a bit of a question round a bit later. So, look, let's do some news. The news that's just been talked about is Tottenham are heavily linked to getting Marcus Rashford on loan from Man United. Now, we don't know what that's about. Rashford is currently heading to Italy. There's rumours that he's going to Italy at the moment as well. So there's a lot of others saying that. One, I'll ask you, Mark, first. Steve, I'll bring you into it. We'll talk about Newcastle in a minute. Don't you worry. We'll talk about them in a moment. First of all, if Marcus Rashford was available, do you take him? And question two is does this just feel like panic for you, Mark?
Yes, it does. But to be honest, will we pay his wages? He's on like God knows what. I mean, we got a wage ceiling. I'm not sure how much does Marcus Rashford earn. He must be earning a million.
Just a mere £350,000 a week.
Well, we're not paying that. Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you'll get him.
There's no way on this planet about.
He signed a 5-year deal like what, 18 months
Yeah,
ago?
it was recently, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
350 grand a week, something like that. Yeah, there you go.
Well, we're not paying that. Jesus. Well, what's Sonny on? I bet Sonny's only on about 180.
I don't think anyone in the any club will be paying him at his full amount. It will be around 50%.
Yeah, but even so, is he still worth paying 180 grand a week? Well, in all fairness, Timo Werner is, and so he's probably a little bit better than him.
I was just going to say, this has all the hallmarks of screaming Timo Werner for me.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Like, look, this is the worry, right? Look, if Rashford came in, would I be okay with it? I'm at that point where I don't care. So, yeah, why not?
No, I don't either.
Let's see what happens. But like, if I was Tottenham, why would you get Rashford? It doesn't make sense.
You know why? It makes business sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Rashford is like Tottenham. He has very much Tottenham DNA, and he will be severely liked because he's a likable human being. But
yeah, is he the one that did all that for kids in COVID?
Yeah, he did. He
petition the government. I thought that was it.
He was one when the government cut the, I want to say, school breakfast thing, or
yeah, it was something to do with that, wasn't it?
God, we're now having a real collection of look. By the way, big up. By the way, Lubo. Look at he's on holiday, Lubo.
Hey, yeah.
How you doing, guys?
He's not sat in a t-shirt in North London. I'll tell you that much.
I was going to say you're looking a bit chilled out. Where are you, mate?
Tenerife.
Oh, nice over there, isn't it? It's lovely.
Jammy. I was going to say Jammy Summit, but I won't.
Yeah, say what you want. This channel's not monetized yet. Say what you
want.
Want.
Right, Jammy bastard.
Yeah, say what you want. It's fine at the moment. We have hit the first part of the 3,000 watch hours, so we'll be getting super chats very soon coming through, and then got another 1,000 hours until we can get a bit more in. That's why I need you lot watching my freaking stuff. Watch my content, please. I'm begging you. Then we can actually stop throwing some adverts on and make a little bit of money from doing all this. Look, big up Lubo, mate. Look, we're just talking about Marcus Rashford. There's a lot of links now linking us with Marcus Rashford. For me, I don't see it. I think it's probably just paper talk. Lubo, would you have him in if he came in tomorrow?
What? No, not for me. Not for me. He hasn't played well for about 2 years, has he?
I agree. I think he's very much past it as a top player. Do you know what? It very much relates to me, very similar to the Dele Alli kind of fall off. This feeling for me, like Rashford is that Dele Alli kind of. Oh well, everyone said, oh well, you need the right manager, and the right manager will find it with him. Do you know what I mean? Like
I
it
just don't
feels
think
that
he
kind of.
likes playing football. I don't think he likes playing football. I'll be real.
I
think
don't
he
know.
likes
Look,
it.
I just think at the moment, like with someone like a Rashford, do you know what? For someone like him, I think him going to somewhere like in Italy is actually a good move for him. I think there's a lot of talk that he's actually in Italy at the moment to make a move to an Italian club. I want to say AC
It's
AC
AC
Milan.
Milan.
Is it AC Milan maybe? But
And that would make no fucking sense at all because you have Rafael Leao, who is your left winger, starting
yeah,
left winger, and then you're gonna bring in Rashford to be a left winger. He's terrible as a striker. Rashford has no skill set to be a striker. He can't hold the ball up. His runs in behind aren't good. His first touch ain't great. He is a transition counter-attacking winger. You know where he should probably go? Nottingham Forest. He would fit there
what was that
with the
noise?
way they play.
Um,
I
um,
don't know.
I thought someone rear-ended you there, Steve. Someone had crashed into you while you were talking. It was like it sounded crumpling metal. No, but
No,
just
it's someone next door, I think. Person.
oh! Is it that sort of holiday you're at, Lubo? I see.
No, not at all.
I'm
Very
just saying.
charming.
I'm not
Very
saying anymore.
nice.
No, but Steve, you say Forest. Why would Forest have him?
Because
Seriously,
he's a counter-attacking player.
he doesn't get in at the moment over Alanga or Hudson Odoi or Chris Wood at the moment.
Purchase. What about the wages?
They're not going to be able to pay his wage either.
I agree, bro, but that's because I don't rate Rashford and you really don't either. But like, I don't like when I said Nottingham Forest, I didn't mean it's specific.
I get what you're saying.
A mid-level team that plays counter-attacking. If that's
I
England,
agree.
if it's Spain, if it's Italy, whatever.
No,
but
I get your point.
At Paris Saint-Germain, he doesn't start over Desiree Doué or Bradley Barcola. No,
I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts at the top level. And listen, the thing is you good. Do you know what? As I said, and what I started this off of, if you've got someone like Rashford in now, that it just sums up panic, doesn't it? That's panic signing for me. I just don't see where we benefit with a Marcus Rashford at Tottenham. For me,
you know where he should go.
Doesn't make us better.
He should go to an Atalanta. That would make sense because they revive careers for fun.
Another team that would probably look at him and go, we don't need someone like him in. They're doing brilliantly at the moment.
Oh yeah.
They don't need a player like him.
Again, if I'm Rashford, I'm begging and pleading with them because they can revive his career. Like
no,
bro,
I agree. I think he will be in Italy and he'll join. Look, for him as an individual, get out of the UK and go and play abroad. Get away, get 6 months away, and just play some football. Right? I think the Tottenham links aren't really going to work. I don't think it will. He will not be holding a Tottenham shirt. That's my analysis on that. One player that has signed an extension. The club has activated his extension is Heung-min Son. That's news that came out the other day. And then we signed, obviously, this Korean baking thing. It's all a bit sus to me in the sort of time frame. But
and Yang
and Squid Games and the Korean sofa. We spoke about that earlier. Son extension for me is a club is only done. This was, by the way, this isn't on Heung-min Son because Son didn't do this. This is the club that activated it. For me, why are we doing that? Is a club that don't know what they want to be, unless it is solely down, which we believe. I think we probably all agree. Financially is the only real reason, the benefit from extending Son's contract. Big clubs, and I say big clubs, what they say is they announced it in January saying Son will not be extending at Tottenham. This will be his final season. We will make sure his final season at Tottenham is a massive party and a massive send-off for him for wherever he goes moving forward. That's what big clubs do. Man City did it. Remember when they did that, announced it with Aguero? Aguero's going to be leaving us, and at the end of it, we're going to make it a massive send-off for someone like an Aguero. That was just the one example I could think of.
You look at what Alex Ferguson did.
Ferguson did it.
Alex
all the
Ferguson
time.
at Man United, doesn't matter who you are. David Beckham, there was loads he got rid of that were the stars of that team. When they'd had their time,
Keane, midfielder.
yeah, Roy Keane, yeah,
Roy Keane.
he knew. Well,
No,
put
but-
it this way:
but
the
Mark,
Sun thing is all about shirt sales.
has to be. There can't be any. It can't be because he's been amazing on the pitch recently. It can't
No.
be, right?
No,
By the way, Son.
it's not performance related.
But
Definitely not.
what I will say about Son is credit to him for what he's done at this football club. Before
I love it.
This isn't. Yeah, no, I agree. By the way, this isn't me slagging Son off because Son is just getting to that stage of his career where he has tailed off. It's normal when players get into their mid-30s, early/mid-30s. They will tail off. It's just normal. I hear the comparison to, oh well, look at Salah. Well, Salah's just a different beast at the moment. He's one of them that is going against the grain and getting actually even better at the moment. But for me, Son extending, as I said to you, always just for me screaming out as this is a club that doesn't really have a plan, and/or a club that is looking to just monetize a football player now.
Well, do you not think that there are various points here? Firstly, number one, it means that they can get a transfer fee for him in the summer if he decides to go.
Who's paying a transfer fee for Heung-min Son at 33?
There'll be clubs that will pay that.
Some dumbass MLS team would.
Maybe, but my point is though I get that, but my point is I get your point on the transfer fee, but I would say, but what level of transfer fee? If we were talking £70 million, I get it. We wouldn't be getting anywhere near half that, right?
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
we wouldn't. But just say they got 20, 25, 30 million.
Okay,
that's money. Number two, yes, if you keep him until the end of the contract, that ensures all the extra shirt sales, the merchandise. You've got 3,000 Koreans coming over on specially arranged trips from South Korea every single home match.
Yep.
It also gives him a chance to help the new kid that's just come in. So you know there are various positives, and also maybe next season. Maybe not this season, but next season when I'm sure we will have a new manager, maybe that new manager can get a tune out of him as well.
I think that by the way, Ian, I get your points, mate. Spot on with a lot of it. I get your points. The one thing I disagree, I don't think we'd ever get a transfer fee for a player like Son now. I think Son is now in that period of.
How old is he?
He's 32 now, all right?
He's 32.
Perchy, could you do me a favor? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it when I'm home in 5 minutes. Never mind. I'll do it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I was gonna have you look up on Transfermarkt MLS record transfer fees because I'm pretty sure like LAFC bought Bonucci for like $3 million.
Let's be fair. If Son is going to go anywhere after Tottenham, it won't be the MLS. No, he will be going to the Saudi. He will be going
to people love living in America.
True.
Did anyone think Gerrard was going to go to fucking LA Galaxy?
No, but I get that, but that was a different period, right? My point is in the sense that at the time the MLS was paying money. Well, clubs in the MLS were trying to get those big names in. At the moment, the MLS is sort of slightly divoting away from it because they're trying.
But there's always exceptions.
They are. But what country at the moment is trying to get the best names in the world and paying them £1 million a week? Saudi Arabia. So my point is they will sit there. They don't need to pay a transfer fee for someone like a Son because they'll go, well, hang on, we'll agree a contract with Son. We'll agree a £1.5 million a week contract with him. Something ridiculous, by the way. I'm not saying that's what it will be, but we will do that. But I just sit and think, where is the strategy at this football club? Take away Daniel Levy, take away all the commercial side, because we kind of understand. I could understand why the Sun thing's done commercially, but tactically, I don't understand the situation where tactically keeping Son makes any sense at the moment.
It does.
Perchy, financial considerations always come first at our club.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
I agree.
And there's your answer. This is not
Literally.
this is not a proper football club.
Oh, I agree.
No.
I absolutely bang on. It isn't a football club because you're right. Because what they're looking at is they can go, well, even if Son is shit on the pitch at the moment, it doesn't matter because his shirts sell out at every time. Every place in South Korea has a Sun Spurs shirt on. We're getting partners. It wouldn't shock me. Son in his contract has some level of royalties for all these South Korean partnerships that are happening. Wouldn't shock me.
I'm pretty sure, Ian. I'm pretty sure, Ian. You answered this question. What percentage of the shirts sold in the club shop have got Son written on the back?
Cool.
I bet so. It's 50% at least.
What Sun shirt? It'd be more. I think it would be more. Sun shirts.
Yeah.
I would
60-70%.
I would have said around 60-70% would be Sun shirts.
Probably.
Because I've never been in there, and I don't ever intend to go in the club shop, but I've seen videos and that in there, and you got all the Spurs shirts. You got them without names. You can get the home, second, and third kit, but then there's rows and rows with players' names already printed on the back that they obviously charge you an extra 20 quid for. And the Son shirts is massive compared. All the rest are just like stuffed at the end. I mean, how many Timo Werner shirts do they sell? One a week.
There's got to be a few people with a Timo Werner Spurs 16.
No, I was going to say how many with insert any other player, but the Son shirts there was rows upon rows of the damn things, and everyone else was just stuffed at the end.
We're one of the only football clubs to not just have Sun shirts, but we also have Sun in Korean shirts as well. By the way, we sell those. So
do they? What in like the Korean writing?
Korean handwriting. They have that as Sun shirts. That is true. I've seen those about. They sell them in that. We're one of the only clubs that do that in the Premier League. That's put like other languages on the back of shirts.
Well, I will admit, the last time I went to the Levy Bowl, whatever you want to call it, I'd probably been in the Bricklayers and the Bill Nick and a couple other pubs, but like when I was walking towards the stadium, all I saw is, it's nothing against them. Fair play to them for coming over and big up to them for spending thousands of pounds flying in. All I saw is South Korean flags.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
Mad, isn't it? But look,
everywhere. Because, to be honest, I was a bit drunk and I thought I'd been in a time machine and ended up in Seoul.
70%, Perchy, 70% of all football fans in South Korea support Spurs.
I'm not even shocked by it. I'm shocked it's not higher. I'm shocked it's not higher.
No, that was. I sell for Korean Mills, and one of the owners is a massive Spurs and Sunny fan, and that was the information that came from him. He also said that the young kid who's just joined us is going to be terrific.
Yeah,
he's very, very highly rated.
But Ian, as I always say, have we bought this kid because of footballing merit, or are we buying this kid because he might be a new human Son that will keep this market alive? And Cam Timley's come in and said, if Son makes that much money, it'd be lunacy to get rid of him. But isn't that everything about this football club that we sit there and go, that just says it all? Son could sit there and walk around in a wheelchair and not be able to play football because of whatever, but he'll still play because he makes us money. Like, I get it. You need to diverse your portfolio in making money at this club. But isn't that everything that's wrong about football now with us? That's all we're about, right? It's mad, but I just want us to be a proper football club that goes, do you know what, Son? You've been an absolute icon at this football club, a legend for South Korea. But we're now looking to move forward. We're not going to keep you here at 33, 34, 35. We're looking to we've brought in insert player who's going to become our next wide player. It just becomes so monotonous, and I'm so numb to it. And I'm just like, do you know what? I'm not even shocked anymore. As I said,
the only way we're going to get there, and I was listening to the show before I came on, just talking about Mark saying that Levy thought the time's gone now. The only way to get rid is if you have a hostile takeover and somebody buys Lewis's shares, which is 70%. And Levy gets pushed to the corner.
Yes, of course. Well, no, but the difference is Levy doesn't have shares in the football club. He has shares in.
He does. He has shares
in. But he has shares in ENIC.
He's got about 30%.
But ENIC owns Tottenham.
Yes, exactly. My point is though, you would have to buy 70% of ENIC. Not like I'm just making
correct.
it
correct.
Yeah. Because
ENIC
owns more than just Tottenham Hotspur, is my point. They own a portfolio.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, sorry. Just to clarify that bit.
That's right. Well, that's an interesting point, because is the ground in the same company as the football club?
The club, you know what I mean? They're not stupid, right? They've portioned out all of this club, and it's...
Yeah. There's 13 different companies, I think, within ENIC.
Yeah, it's not as simple anymore, right? That's what I mean.
Fingers in many pies, isn't it?
Yeah. And they've done that very strategically for... I don't want to delve in it or bore the hell out of people, because I know the reasons why they've done it through tax ways, and it's way to basically...
Oh, yeah. It's all about tax fiddles.
It's not fiddles, but it's basically...
Well, you know what I mean.
What it does...
No. You mitigate the tax, don't you?
Yeah, mitigate the tax. That's basically why they do it.
That was wrong, me calling it fiddle. It's just sort of avoidance. It's avoidance.
It's not necessarily avoidance. It's just it basically puts things into different buckets for a reason.
Yeah, it's within the laws.
Yeah,
it's within the law, but it's sort of different ways of doing things within the law. Within the law. Let's get that in there.
Yeah. It's not dodgy sort of thing. It's
no. It's not dodgy dealings, but it's what companies do to spread their wealth about, so they don't
Yeah. But look, that's what Tottenham is now. Like, and look, I've kind of. Do you know what? Like, and what I will say on it, I'm kind.
There we go. Archer, tax loopholes.
Yeah, they're not. I don't even think it's that. But I don't want to get a libel on my channel, because start getting libel crap coming through. But what I will say on this part is just, look, I've kind of just accepted it now. I've kind of got to that level of acceptance. It is who we are. It's who we are, mate. It's who we are, mate. This is a football club. I've just come to the point of, do you know what? It sounds really depressing, and I don't want it to sound depressing. People think but I kind of just don't care about that anymore. Look, it is what it is. We are who we are. We can't change it unless a mass collective changes it. What I will say, look, Ian, I haven't got your thoughts on the football later on. We've got a football match later on. We're playing Liverpool again after the last time they absolutely battered us at our place. How do you see this turning out? And after that, guys, in the chat before Ian answers, get your questions in. I've pinned anyone that puts a Q in it. We'll do them, and we'll do a bit of a question thing after this. Ian, are we going to turn over Liverpool today? Yes or no?
No, they've got a better team than us. It's as simple as that. It just comes down to players always with football matches, and their team is going to be stronger than ours.
Yeah.
So, logic tells you that it may not be as a thrashing like the league game, but they're still going to win. For me, I reckon a 3-1 result for Liverpool.
Mark, what did you think the result will be? Guys in the chat, put your results in the chat as well.
It could be anything. Honestly, Ange's definitely not going to play the way he plays, so it could be like 8-7. 8-7 to Liverpool. It could be anything. It could be anything. But no, I can't. Well, put it this way: if we can sneak a 2-1 win, first I'll be amazed.
Same.
Right, and secondly, I'd take that. But then we're going to get stuffed at Anfield anyway. Because if we win tonight, we got no hope at Anfield.
Yeah, I agree. Steve,
absolutely no hope.
What do you think the result will be today?
What I notice about semifinals
two-legged semifinals when you have two
Yeah.
separate. What I notice is a lot of the time you'll have one kind of shocking or surprising result, and then the other one straightforward.
Yeah.
We were the surprise one. Sometimes there are two surprise semifinal results, so you could, but I think we took because look, I thought we would draw versus Arsenal. I don't rate them like other people do, and I think we're in good form, and I didn't think we'd win though 2-0 like that. So that was a surprise. That was definitely a surprise, but yeah. So because of that, yeah, I'm going.
What's your prediction?
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as Mark. I think it could be anything. I think we could win this. I think we could win this to the point equally where we could get absolutely humiliated. It literally, my bar is like that. We could get a 1-1 draw, or get a 5-1 battering. Like it's look. I actually have a weird feeling we'll get a result today. I think we'll get a draw today and be in the tie. But I think when we go to Anfield, they will absolutely batter us, is my worry.
You wait. You wait. If we win 3-1 tonight, everyone will be out. Oh, see, all those slagging off Ange. Look, he's brilliant. He's marvellous. He's Keith Birkinshaw. You know what I mean? He's Pochettino. He's like,
I think we have a weird thing. We'll get a result today. I don't know what that result will be. I could predict anything. It could be anything. Like I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to say it'll finish 1-1 today, but that's me being a little bit positive about it. People think I'm so super negative, but equally, I could equally see Liverpool putting 5 past up. It goes one of both ways. Like, do you know what I mean?
6 this time. No.
Yeah. I mean, people start celebrating because we didn't concede 6. But
if we were 5-1 down, if we're 5-1 down, are they still going to be singing his name in the South Stand?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Before we do some questions, guys, remember, put your questions in the chat. We're going to go through them in a second. Steve, I just want to give you a bit of flowers, some flowers for your boys last night with a really, really good result. And all this excuses from Arteta, by the way. And I'm about to go full circle and say something I've been saying for months.
He's a loser.
No. What I've been saying for months is massive result for you boys. I thought you were brilliant on the day. I thought I only watched parts of it. I was busy, but stuff. I just sort of caught a lot of the highlights on it, and I watched all of it. And I'm going, that's what a manager does at a big away day. That's how you find a way to beat a big team. Arsenal are a big team. We hate to say it, but they are. Go away and get a big result.
No, I think your fans conflate entertainment with this attacking football with being smart and entertaining, because all of my friends who are or aren't Newcastle United fans like to watch us when we're clicking, but when we're clicking, we're winning games 3 or 4-0, like we're keeping clean sheets and stuff. So you can be exciting and attacking, but also defensively sound. That's called balance.
Yeah,
and a good manager can do that with Ange. Yeah, sometimes you do win the occasional game like 5-0 over a crap Southampton team, but like you would never under Ange win 2-0 at the Emirates. I don't think that would never happen. In the style that we did it.
And a big up Cam Timney's comment says, how do we get to a semi-final if Ange can't win a match? No one says Ange can't win a match. Ange is, do you know what the thing is this is the narrative I'm hearing at the moment. Big up Cam for coming in here, and anyone can say anything you want here. This is the beauty of YouTube. The worry is for me, what Ange is very good at is nicking a result. He'll nick a result against Man City. He'll nick a result against Man United. And everyone goes and uses that sample size to go on about everything else. Ange can. Do you know what the funny thing is it? Spurs could fluke their way and win this Carabao Cup, by the way. I'm not saying we will. I'm not saying that we're the best team in it and stuff. Spurs could go on and win this tournament. They could fluke a 2-1 win today.
Let's say Liverpool got a red card in 5 minutes.
Similar
in both legs.
Similar to what happened last year. You know what I mean? You can get yourselves to a final, right? Let's just say your boys get to a final against Newcastle.
And
Spurs
Isak
on,
is injured.
on a, no, but regardless, even if Isak was playing on a one-off game, Tottenham can win those games.
Yeah.
No one's argued that one. The problem is what happens with this manager is that it is like this.
Yeah.
You can't go,
The thing is, like when we played Man City in this competition, we sat back.
yeah.
We sat back and sat in. Well, we didn't sit back on purpose. They forced us back because of that bloody good, right? And so they forced us back. So we had to play deeper. None of that high line inverted fullbacks nonsense. We sat in and we defended, and then we hit them on the break and we scored and we won 1-0 and beat Man City in this cup. But the last round against Man United, when we were 2-0 up, and then we nearly threw it away. You know, I mean, that was just his nonsense tactics coming into play again.
Mate,
Percy, can I just answer the lot that post about Ange? Spurs can play in moments. They can come good. They can blow teams away. But the problem is that you look at the league table: 7 wins, 3 draws, 10 defeats. This style of play can be good at times, and we can win games at times. But it's never going to give you a consistent run of results, and it's never going to give you enough results to make you competitive. And that's the problem, and it all depends what fans want. Are fans happy going along for a bit of entertainment? I mean, to me, losing is not entertaining.
Exactly.
And just going on, a few games a season, you're going to see Spurs blow teams away in a short period of time, 10-15 minutes, the game's done. But the rest of the season is poor. So what do fans actually want? Do they want the team to be successful, or do they just want to go along and, it's okay, we're going to have a few drinks before the game, we'll stay in for a few drinks after the game, we'll have a walk around, we'll see what food we can have. We'll have a little sing-song, maybe, possibly. I mean, the atmosphere is getting worse and worse at the grounds as each week goes on. And it's not this isn't a football club to me.
No, it's not.
I went to Rangers and you just look at the fans, even Forest on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Proper grounds, proper fans behind the team.
Yeah. But
we're nothing like that.
But Ian, one of the main things you said there was bang on, by the way, really bang on. We're a patch team. You're right. There's a 15 minutes of Spurs. You watch us and go, we're the best team in the world. We can play scintillating football. But it's, as you were, the right word, consistent. It can, and do you know what? That's how teams are starting to find their ways to beat us, right? That's how
the Wolves managers said that.
But what Spurs are good at is if you can nullify Tottenham in that purple patch, you'll beat Tottenham.
Yeah,
Ipswich were brilliant at it. They nullified us when we were all over them, and then once we knackered off, they went, "We'll pick up the pieces now." But when you look at games like when we played Southampton, they didn't nullify us, and we battered them. Right?
I'll drill down more, Perch. I'll drill down more. Yes, we're a team of moments, and we're a team that's good against the opposition that come out and play, that leave spaces behind.
Yeah,
I remember just watching at Forest. We never really looked like scoring. We had 70% of the game. Yeah. When we got to the edge of their box, it was sideways, backwards. It was one ball inside the fullback that Werner put across, and that was it. There was absolutely hardly anything else going on the whole match. Their keeper made a couple of saves. You would expect Spurs to have a couple of attacks, but we never looked like breaking teams down.
Fans,
we only play one way. Get behind the team, get the ball out wide, ping it across, someone coming in back post. Yeah. And we're too obvious. We're too one-dimensional. We're not cute enough tactically. It's just poor, and the team are very naive. Other teams know how to beat us, and as the season's gone on, our form has gone down. And for people that are going to say about injuries, well, you probably think Van der Ven's probably the most important linchpin in our defence because of the high line. Mickey's played 10 games, 13 points, and missed 10 games, and we got 11 points. So there's hardly a difference.
I actually find this football boring.
It's not interesting.
It's not exciting.
It's not. Do you know what it is? No. Do you know what it is? Is when we hear, "Do you want to be entertained?" He's talking about rival fans because Steve must be entertained watching Tottenham because it's like, do you know what I imagine Tottenham's football to be like? You know when you're going down the motorway and you're stuck in traffic because there's been a horrible accident. God rest that no one gets injured or hurt from a car accident. I'm just using that as an example. You know, on the other side of the motorway when you're stuck in traffic, it's because everyone's slowing to look at it. That's what Tottenham are now. We're like a car crash because you go watch Tottenham today because we don't know what could happen here. We're a football team to entertain everyone else. Not whilst we're like that team that has been in that accident going, oh please can we not have a crash? Please can we not have a crash today? Like let's just get through this today. Like that's how it feels being a Tottenham fan. You watch it going.
Every time I watch us, half the time I'm terrified. It's not enjoyable to watch.
It's mental. Like
when we're messing about playing it out from the back and tipping it about instead of just hoofing it out the pitch and getting it away from our goal.
Yeah.
You think, come on, man, get rid of it. And then, it's terrifying to watch. And even when we go forward, it's that horseshoe stuff. It's the horseshoe stuff in front. When we go, it's like most games this season, we've had like 60% of the ball or more. But we do nothing with it. And we still end up losing 2-1. So what's the point? There's no point whatsoever.
As I say, Spurs are a 15 to 20 minute purple patch team.
Yeah.
Where we look devastating. But people don't realise football match is 90 minutes long, right? And
100 these days.
100 these days with added time and stuff. But that's the worry for me. Look, that's what I think will happen. I think that's how it will be. It's kind of deferred to Tottenham, but first of all, Cam in the chat, there's 4 teams left in it. Arsenal aren't out yet. I think they will next week. I think Newcastle will go, we'll shut up shop here. We'll contain a 2-0 lead.
Newcastle are too clever.
They're too clever, and Eddie Howe's a top manager, by the way.
Well done against us.
What do you mean by top?
He's a top manager, Eddie Howe.
No, a top manager to me is Pep.
No, Pep's an elite manager.
Oh, okay, all right.
Pep's an elite manager. Eddie Howe is a top manager. Eddie
Put it
Howe.
this way. Eddie Howe is more elite than our manager.
Yeah, 100%. That's not an argument. On
You're more elite than our manager, Perch.
Hey, I do a fabulous job, and if you're watching
Perch's
story later,
I've been witnessing it daily. Always shut the like on it.
It's always a good. I actually enjoy doing it. I've recorded loads recently because I've got a.
It's not the same as now. It's not the same at the moment because you're not live doing it.
Problem is because at the moment I'm moving house and stuff.
I know you are.
So what I do when I've got a spare couple of hours, I'll do a few recordings and put them up, and then I'll crack on and carry on doing my work. But no one really cares about what I'm up to. What I will say, Steve, what I'll say about this is the one thing I will say is everyone tells me, look at what Arsenal are doing with Arteta. And if last night wasn't a representation...
They're embarrassing, by the way.
No, but hang on. What I'll say, everyone tells me, but it's taken Arteta however many years, 6 years or whatever it's been there. Why? They've won nothing since they've done it. This isn't a project process, PR bollocks that everyone keeps talking about that I want to follow.
Yeah.
Why are we now basically saying that the Arteta Arsenal mold is the right mold to go down? They don't win anything at the moment with it. Even if they
won't win. They will win sweet F all with Arteta. He's not good enough.
It's not just Arteta. It's
a lot on him. And also their players aren't as good as their fans think they are.
As I said,
they don't have ambition as a club. You and them are very similar.
I agree.
Very similar.
I think we are like the Arsenal light in a sense because we don't win.
Yeah.
We didn't win FA Cups when they did in that era. But what I will say is on the final bit, and I'll finish off because we've got about 10 questions. Get your questions in. What I will say on it is, why would we want to follow down a process that doesn't win? It's not just Arsenal, Arteta, it's Arsenal themselves. What did Arsenal, we all were in the summer when, if Arsenal go and buy a big boy striker, that will be the final tick. They didn't get it. They should have bought Isak or Gyökeres or whoever. and they didn't do it. And that's what I'll say. That's why whenever I hear, oh, just go down the Arsenal process, look, that's what they don't win anything. That's all I want to end up on that one because it annoys me. I hear it from so many people. Big up Jimmy Hotspur's come in. I'll let one of you lads, if you want to answer it. Name 3 other Premier League chairmans. Does anyone know any others? I can throw some out. I know a few.
Is that woman still at West Ham? Karen Brady, was it?
Brady.
Or did she get?
She wasn't the chairwoman though.
No.
Oh, all right.
David Sullivan is at
David Sullivan
is at West Ham.
Matthew Benham at Brentford.
Yeah, Todd Bowles at Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Stan Kroenke is at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his name, but the guy at Leicester.
Yeah. And you've got the
Glazers and Enios at United. You've got Fenway at Liverpool.
No. It's thinking of the chairman of Man United is now the Ineos guy, isn't it?
Ratcliffe.
Well, no. He's not a chairman, but he's handling football. He's handling football matters, isn't he?
I thought he was chairman. I could be wrong, but anyway, yeah. There you go. There's a few. Even the Brighton guy is what's the other guy?
Tony Bloom.
Tony Bloom. That's the one I was thinking of. Yes. There you go. There's a few. There's a few chairmans. There's a few out there. Another one we've got from Kudos. Big up Kudos. Question: why would Levy back and with any more signings in January? He may not be here for a few games. Ian, I'll let you jump with that one. Why is this supposedly what's happening?
I'm sure they've got to be after a few players. We're desperately short in terms of the squad. We've had high injury counts for the last few weeks. Yeah, we've had suspensions as well thrown in that have been unnecessary, that haven't helped. I'm sure they're not going to spend that much. They're maybe 20, 30 million tops, but he's not going to go mad. And I fully understand that. You know, if you're looking at this set of results, and if you're looking at the way the results, the points per game average has been dropping since November 2023, why would you give this manager a lot of money to spend?
I said this, mate. I say this all along. Mark, I'll get your point in. I'll say, for me, this is one of the only managers I don't want given another penny.
No.
When I hear about backing a manager, I don't want to back that Ange Postecoglou. He's a crap manager.
As I said earlier, like, if you own a business and you can see your business is failing, it's not getting the results. Why would you keep throwing money at it? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think that he's still here because Mr. Levy, our glorious leader, in inverted commas, knows that if he gets rid of him, suddenly all the fingers and eyes are looking and pointing at him. And so he's here to deflect the blame away from himself.
Mark,
that's my personal opinion.
What he's gonna do is he's gonna let you guys. He's gonna fire and in like, I don't know, towards the end of the season when you're like 14th, and then everybody will be like, yo, he needs to go.
I think the thing is now, and the problem is when we say backing in with signings, the question's got to be asked on what are those signings. If we're, as I said, I don't mind the likes of Kinski or whatever his name is coming in, because let's be fair, that's not for someone immediately. That's a long-term thing. I've got no issues with that. If I'm at the point where, look, buy some kids, who cares? Because you're not buying him for Ange Postecoglou, you're buying him for the future of the club. Yes. I just don't see, if, for example, if we bought Rashford in on loan, that tells me that this is a club that is just picking up players short term to put a plaster on an absolute like leg wound. Like,
well, no, if you got Rashford, it's a PR move, and it'd be a freaking financial one.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay the wage. And secondly, in terms of how long Ange lasts for, we've won in terms of the Premier League 1 in 8, is it, or 1 in 9? And it all depends how long this run goes on for. If it carries on, and Spurs keep dropping, then Levy's not going to think about, well, he's my buffer when he's looking at £100 million loss.
Yeah. No, I get that. I agree. Look,
Yeah.
as I'll always say, kudos. I agree. For me, this manager is shit, so I don't want him back. What's the point? Like, I would be a hypocrite if I go and give him load of players this window. I don't rate the manager. I don't trust him. I don't want him here. So for me,
just the last thing on this before we move on to the next question.
yeah.
Do you honestly think that Ange asked for Timo Werner, Will Odebert, Gray,
I have no idea.
Bergvall? You know, I mean, surely. I mean, let's
don't know
face it.
the-
Werner, yes. Mark, Werner, yes. Odebert, yes.
Oh my God.
Johnson, yes. These are all Ange signings. Johnson, yes.
Solanke was
Solanke,
definitely
yes.
Solanke, I can agree with.
Solanke, yes. Maddison, yes. Mickey, yes. Solomon, yes. Valiz, yes. I'm not so sure about Graham Bergvall. I think Bergvall was due to Lange's.
Bergvall was done before he joined, though, weren't he? Bergvall was done before he joined, I think.
No, Bergvall was scouted by Lange due to his Scandinavian contacts.
Right,
Gray, I'm sure that they were looking at long before Ange.
Yeah.
But all the others, I think, you'll find are Postecoglou signings.
He would have. The thing is this is the thing, right? And Ian, you'll confirm it if I'm right or wrong in here. This is the thing when people say Ange signing, club signing. I hear all this. Well, for me, every signing is a club signing because if he pisses off, when he pisses off, these players are still here. When I hear it, I hear it. For me, I don't buy into the club signing narrative. Every club signing is a club signing.
Well, also, if a manager.
Hang on one second. But what I want to say is this is what I believe happens, and someone correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm talking about it in a very simplistic term, just so you know. When a manager will be, he wouldn't sit there and be scouting Wilson Odobert. The club would have gone out and gone, here's a list of players for the players of your requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll have, let's just say 10, keep it simple, and go, you want a player, this is what we have found. Out of all these are what is available. Who would you like out of these? We can look deeper into them. And he'll go, well, him, and him. And then they'll narrow it down and then they'll go and sign the player that he wants within budget. Simplistic, of course, but the manager isn't going out there and going, oh, by the way, we have to go to Burnley and sign Wilson Odobert, if that makes sense.
No, you're quite right. The recruitment team would have gone out with and brought back videos, brought back scouting reports on several players for each position.
Yes.
And Ange would sign off on them.
Yeah, he would go, I want, if you can't get player A, get player B.
Correct.
In a sense, right? If player, let's just say, keep it simple, player A is Luis Diaz, like something way out of our region to get at the moment.
And then the other is Morgan Whitaker from Plymouth.
Anyone, yeah. And then they'll go, well, hang on, there's a lad at Burnley, by the way, Odobert, that would you like him? He'll go, yeah, I'll have him. So that's when we say, this is the thing is I hear such simplistic and such neat comments like, oh, well, Ange didn't want this player. Well, no, Ange would have said yes to every one of those players on a list that we've signed. He wouldn't have gone into the office, into his office and go, oh, by the way, that lad at Leeds called Archie Gray, we've signed him. He would have known that the club was signing him and he would have gone, yeah, I'll get him into my team.
Well,
maybe,
also,
maybe not. Maybe not.
You can tell if a manager wants a player by the simple fact if they play them. It's a good if you play them, you are close. Whether you feel like you have to, like, bro, people thought that Rashford had in his contract that he has to play. Amorim disproved that myth because he benched him. He benched him after like the first 2 games.
Yeah. You only got to look with Conte and Jed Spence. As soon as he signed him, he said, he's not my player, off you go.
Yeah, I don't want him. I'm not going to use him.
One at a time,
yeah.
That's right. Jed Spence is what you're calling a club signing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah. But the point, I agree. But the thing is the manager has put his name to every single player that's come in.
Mm-hmm.
Of note, he hasn't sort of said, "Oh, by the way, no, I don't want him." Like he hasn't publicly said these things, and that's how I will I'm not. By the way, I don't expect him to publicly say it because people go, "Oh, why do you want him to do what Conte did?" No, what he did to Jed Spence, I don't want a manager doing that. For me, I think you've got to be.
No.
For me, I've always said it's always balance in life. It's the great word. I might get it on a t-shirt. Just balance on it. Like I don't want a manager to sit there and say everything's on me. This is all on me. I equally don't want a manager saying it's not on me. Sometimes you can be a politician in a press conference. You don't have to be so open. You can just say, look, as a club, we as a club are looking to improve on this, that, and the other. As a team, as a collective, we have decided on insert. Like that's how I don't want him to sit and go, it's all on me, because it's not. We're all not stupid. It's not. And I don't need him.
Do you know what I honestly think happens? Who was that player at Wolves that went to Chelsea?
Neto,
right? I believe he may have been on our list along with Odobert, right? But knowing Tottenham, they said, "Oh, we'll have Odobert because he's like a fifth of the price, a fifth of the price, and a tenth of the wages."
No, but do you know what? Neto was on our list, and Neto.
Well, there we go.
Neto chose to go to Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, he was probably on our list, but in the end...
No. We had an actual offer down to the player, and the player picked... I could be wrong. From people I've spoken to that know a little bit about this, said that Spurs did have a deal on the table for Neto, but weren't budging on the deal on what they put down. And Chelsea... Just
like how James Maddison picked Spurs.
Similar, yeah. Both
you've only got to look at when... Arsenal signed Trossard. We went in for him and we offered like 12 million quid or something. Arsenal went in with what they wanted, 20 odd, and there we go. Yeah. I mean, we probably had Neto on our list, but we went for Odobert because for a start
it wasn't that way, Mark. Both of them were on the list.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna break the question mold for 1 second, guys. And Eamon Burns is calling me a brain box. I like that. I am a brain box. I'm very, very smart. We all are on this panel, except Steve. Steve isn't smart. Unless you're talking about third-tier Bulgarian football, then he is very, very smart.
Thanks for that, mate.
Anytime. Look, well then, who do you brain boxes have in mind as our next manager? I look forward to your responses. I will play my game of I will give you 10 options to be my next manager. 10. I could give you.
I don't have anybody.
I could give you 100 if I wanted to. I'll give you 10 to keep it simple. Marco Silva, Thomas Frank, Oliver Glasner,
the Bournemouth one.
Iraola. I keep forgetting names. Iraola, Michel Sanchez of Girona. I'd have the Celta Vigo manager Giraldez, very good manager. I'd have there was the one that you said the other day that I had to look into, was really good, Steve. You told me the other day. Who was the other fella? Italian. Not
Rafael Palladino.
Palladino, that's the one, the Fiorentina manager. Palladino. No, Kuba, I'm not doing 100. I'll be here all freaking day. I'll be here all day. I'd have a couple more. Michael Carrick, I'd have from the Championship.
Yes.
I think Michael Carrick's doing a good job. Huh?
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique's not coming to Tottenham, though, is he?
There's all sorts coming in here. Mary Berry, Lorraine Kelly.
Yeah, I'd have Graham Potter. I know he looks like he's going to West Ham. I'd have Graham Potter. So when I hear this, who would you have? I could list off name after name of managers. I'd have Nuno back at Tottenham right now.
Baldrick off Blackadder. There's another one that George has just put in.
Do you know what's worse? I'm at the stage where I'd have Ryan Mason in charge right now. It's that bad at the moment for me.
He may make us a bit more solid.
I'm not saying I want Ryan Mason as my manager, but I'd have him right now. I think he's a better manager than Ange Postecoglou. Sorry. I'd have Brendan Rodgers. I'd have him in charge. Look, as I said, I hear this all the time. Who would you have? Many managers. Like, I don't need to ask you. I think you guys are probably in a similar boat.
That's like saying, which left winger would you rather have than Timo Werner? I don't know.
Mental.
Like, I don't freaking know. Harvey Barnes.
Yep.
I'm gonna head off.
Yeah, I bet you are. Luke Sunny, where you are.
Have Eddie
I say that it's quite nice where I am at the moment. The sun's lovely out at the moment as well.
Lovely.
No, it's going to snow here soon, I think.
Yeah,
Sounds lovely.
It's 10 degrees where
Ian,
I'm at.
Ian, you go put your feet up, and I expect a picture in the group chat of you sipping a cocktail later. I expect it now.
Or
Have
at least,
have a amazing time.
I'm just going to go and find. I'm just going to go and find the sports bar that's down the road for tonight's game.
Football tonight, mate. You enjoy it, my friend. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for
We're
coming
not jealous or nothing.
Eddie
No.
Howe, he's the manager for us.
Eddie Howe,
Definitely.
he is. I just don't think he's coming to us now. But yeah, he would have been the one I'd have had 100%.
Lovely. Thanks for having me on, Percy.
Mate, always a pleasure.
Cheers,
you're
guys.
welcome, mate.
Thanks.
Take care.
Cheers, Ian.
Thanks for everyone watching. Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers.
Next question for you two lovely gentlemen. Actually, one lovely gentleman and Steve.
Oh,
Bit harsh on Steve. I do apologise, Steve. Jimmy said, how do we stop Liverpool's front three? You boys can
won't.
go for it.
All I'm gonna say is you won't.
I was gonna say pray. Pray to the Lord.
Pray to the football god.
Yeah.
You know why I
Pray
say
to the
you
football
won't?
gods.
You know why I say you won't? Because I know your manager won't do what's required to stop
Yeah.
them. What you
Yeah.
do is you just fucking play conservative defense.
If you sit in against Liverpool and make it hard to beat,
You're
then
not
you
going to
will
do
get the
that.
result.
So that's why I said you won't.
No.
Do
What Newcastle did.
Just
Right.
break Liverpool down. Look at what Man United. Man United absolutely
Perfect.
showed how you beat Liverpool.
Mhm.
You nullify them going forward. You basically look at Salah and go, stop him playing, and then that's how you. For me, that's how you can break them down and stop them playing, and then hit them on the counter. But my friend Eamon Burns has come back and said, "You
Can I
didn't
just say?
answer." Yeah, go on, you
Can I
go, mate.
just say, Trent Alexander-Arnold? That was the worst game I've ever seen him play for
Yeah,
Liverpool.
he had a poor game. He
He
had
was
a poor game.
dreadful.
But the thing is if you could, the one thing with Trent, he's not the best defensively. He's the
No.
best going forward. If you make him defend, you will find a way to beat him. If you stop him attacking and drag him further and further back,
If you isolate him,
you isolate him and make him make a mistake. Look, my friend Eamon Burns has come back and said, you didn't answer what happens when they don't work. That is the most mental way of thinking, by the way.
No, it's the most childish.
What?
Here's my answer: shut down the entire club.
But do you know what makes me
There
laugh?
you go.
What happens
give
when they
up.
don't? What happens when they don't?
You
work?
try a new manager.
Do you know what makes me laugh, Steve? That's like me going out there to buy a car, going, I better not get rid of my banger because instead of buying a new car because it might break down in the future. What is that?
I won't go outside because I got sick once.
Eamon says, I suppose you loved Conte and Mourinho. Wasn't a fan of Conte. Mourinho, I wavered and fell off a little bit with him. They didn't work, granted. So what? You wanted them out, I suppose. Yes. Conte, I didn't like the way he handled in press conferences.
Yeah.
I didn't like his style of football. I thought it was so boring. With Mourinho, for me, I thought he was. I was at the stage of Mourinho where I wanted him gone, but I will also say that you don't get rid of Mourinho a week before a cup final. For me, that didn't make logic. I said for me, Mourinho should have gone after the Zagreb result. For me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. For me, I went, he's got to go. This guy doesn't understand us, and it's all over the place. But they kept him until he got to a final. And went. Then when they sacked him, I went, why are we sacking him now?
That was something to do with the money, though, wasn't it? If he'd have won the final, we'd have had to pay more to get rid of him.
I don't know if that. I don't think that's true. I think it was more. I think it was a vanity project in the sense of it. We then couldn't have sacked him if he'd won a cup. I think the club wanted to get rid of him a while ago, but didn't. Delayed it too long. But the problem was if he did go out and get a shit out of a result against Man City in that final, the club then couldn't get rid of him because he'd won a trophy.
The thing is with Conte, though, all right, the football, it wasn't exciting. Let's face it. It was sit back, win 1-0, thank you very much. But at the end of the day, it sort of was winning football. Because let's face it, he got us fourth. He got us fourth, and he was fourth and we were fourth when he got sacked.
Mark, both those managers, Conte and Mourinho, looked at our squad and went, I will find the way to get the result. What Mourinho did, by the
Yes.
way, what
Yeah.
Mourinho did well, and the one that I always give him credit for, was what he done was the best way for Harry Kane and Heung-min Son to get goals. So he went,
Yes.
you know what? Where are we strong? Son and Kane going forward. What I
Yeah.
will do is
In their prime, mind. In their prime.
but I will build a system where those two, he made them better by building a system around them two to score goals. That's what I did.
And you got to remember as well, Conte got us fourth without Van de Ven. All right, Romero might have been there, but he had the likes of Sanchez and Dyer and Longley and all that as one of the other back three, or two of the back three.
I'm Eamon, big up to you for bringing in, but this is mental. This is the same stuff I hear every minute. By the way, it is hilarious. I find this stuff hilarious. So, what is it you want? 2 counter-attacking managers, which didn't work, an attacking manager who isn't working at the minute, and a counter-attacking manager, and it didn't work. Notice the words that you use there. Didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. They didn't work at the club because they didn't do it right. I don't want a manager that is playing these gung-ho tactics.
No.
I equally, by the way, I'm not sitting here about counter-attacking football. I've got nothing wrong with counter-attacking football. No issues with it.
It's winning football.
It's what my point was always is it sustainable? And these things sitting 10 men behind the ball. What is the word I've used all stream? Balance.
Yeah.
I just want look at Eddie. Eddie Howe's not a counter-attacking manager. He's not a defensive manager. He's equally also not a gung-ho attacking manager. What Eddie Howe is, he's a manager that goes, we're playing Arsenal today. They're going to control the game because they're a good footballing team. How am I going to get the best result for my team against Arsenal? Today, we're going to sit in. Now, let's just say, I don't know who your next opponents are, but let's just say it's Ipswich at home. We're now playing Ipswich at home. These are a team struggling for form at the moment in a relegation battle. We've got better players than them. So what we're going to do is we're going to retain all of the ball. And we will, once we find those killer passes through them, we will beat Ipswich. Not saying you've got Ipswich. You overwhelm them. He looks at the opposition and goes, I will build a setup for my opposition. The manager we've got plays one system, and every single manager that we've had played against us has gone easy. This is the blueprint how to beat Tottenham. That's
not every manager.
Well, they are.
I mean, I've said it on a few shows. Like, it doesn't matter. Over the past month, 2 months, we played the top side and the bottom side.
Yep.
We played Southampton and we won 5-0. And we annihilated them.
Yep.
This is where his system works because they haven't got the players we've got. But then we played the top side, Liverpool, who are technically better than us, got better players, and they absolutely destroyed us.
But what happens is it's what I mentioned over with Ian earlier. Spurs have patches of brilliance, and if those patches of brilliance get 2 or 3 goals, Spurs go on to see the result normally. But what we don't do is in those patches where we're not brilliant, we're not defensively strong. So everyone goes, and the problem is when you're averaging conceding 2+ goals a game or whatever it is, basically what you're saying is Spurs have to score 2 or 3 goals to beat teams now, and that's not sustainable. And that's not sustainable.
No,
you know what I mean. You get what people. Statistically, we have to score at least 2 or 3 goals to win game. Well, we have to
look at the Brighton game.
Yeah,
you look at the Brighton game. 2-0 up, 2-0 up, and we still come 2-0 up away from home, and we still couldn't see it out. All you had to do is change it a little bit, sit in, make it compact, waste time. Because you see all the top teams doing it. As soon as they get a goal lead, they're like rolling about on the ground, wasting time. I'm not saying that's right, but this is what every other team does.
I want a manager that can play a bit like that. I would love a Joe Linton in my team. Absolute player. I'd love a player like that in my team. Because you go, do you know what? He's doing it for us. He will take all that flack for us as a team because he helps us, wins us a free kick, ruffles up a few feathers. Look, Mark, I'm going to ask you this question because you probably met more football players than me. Who is the best footballer you've ever met?
Oh, the best footballer.
Yeah.
I've only ever met a few. I met Gary Lineker.
I've met Gary Lineker as well.
Yeah,
that was
I met Gary Lineker. I'm trying to think who else. I met Paul Stewart. I met Eric the Viking. Remember him in goal? Obviously met Gary Mabbott, my hero. But the best. Who do you reckon's the best out of all of them?
Say him again. Say the list again.
Gary Lineker.
Yep.
Paul Stewart. Eric Torsvet. And Mabs.
Or I will say...
Depends which bit of the pitch you want.
Yeah,
you know.
I would say someone like I would say Lineker. I think Lineker.
Yeah. For like being the most famous, probably in this country, Lineker.
Yeah, Lineker.
But for me, the highlight's always Gary Mabbott, my hero.
Yeah, as a Spurs fan, you'd have probably said Mabbott. I get that.
Yeah. No, but he's just my hero in general.
Steve, have you met any football players and who?
Yes, it was. Oh my God. What the hell was it? Basically, when Newcastle United came over to the United States on a tour, a U.S. tour, there was a meeting. It was like a fan meeting. I met the CEO, the former CEO. He had cancer, so he had to resign recently. Darren Eales. There was a CEO, and there was a player, and I got a photo with him. What the fuck is this? Oh no! Former player Shola Amiobi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a
I met
what a
Shola
baller.
Amiobi and have a
Newcastle legend he is.
Yeah, what a baller.
Good player.
Bro,
he's one of those that doesn't get. He's one of those that doesn't get levels of credit he probably deserves. Really good football player. He's one of those. He's one of those. Everyone back in the day would say, "Oh, he's a crap striker." Absolutely would dominate in this day because there's not many good strikers these days. Yeah, no, good one. Good question, Sam. So get your questions in, by the way, guys, if you do want to get more in. Joey Barton has said, who would you rather have, Daniel Levy or Mike Ashley? Great question, actually. Steve, I'm going to start with you on this one. Had to be your owner.
Mike Ashley.
Mark, who would you have?
Wow.
Both are fucking awesome.
I know my answer, and I'm going to really...
I'm not wow.
I don't want a rich, terrible owner because then he doesn't have to leave.
Not that, like, obviously, none of the Newcastle supporters like Mike Ashley. They were protesting it to get him out for years. I would say they're more or less on the same level because Mike Ashley didn't. Well, Mike Ashley, Newcastle are a massive club. Don't get me wrong in like Newcastle, but like he didn't spend a penny. Levy spends money for us, but sort of on. Well, he does invest it in the team. We can't say he doesn't, but poorly invests it in the team. And he also spends a lot of the money that we make on making himself more money by building properties. So it depends whether you want your team to be wealthy. Well, because you can't even really say successful because neither of us are successful.
I agree. So
to be honest, I'd take either of them.
I would. Do you know my answer? My answer will be Daniel Levy for this. If it had to be out of both two, and the reason being is whether or not I think neither team is successful on the pitch. Successful. The one thing though that Tottenham have over Newcastle when they were under Ashley, not right now. Newcastle were in a far worse situation financially because that man ripped the soul out of Newcastle, Mike Ashley. Oh, yeah. And I'm not saying that Daniel Levy hasn't done it with Tottenham. The difference is he used Newcastle as a vanity project for himself.
Yeah.
Daniel Levy, all of his thing, the one thing he doesn't do, he doesn't use Tottenham as a vanity project. He uses it to make money, and that is one of the big problems. But he uses it as he doesn't sit there and put all of his stuff. He didn't rename White Hart Lane as the Enoch Arena or something. Do you know what I mean?
We're just as well have done.
But do you know what I mean? Like
Levy also probably didn't tell Jonas Gutierrez, who had cancer at the time, to
Yeah, and as much as we don't like him, at least Levy turns up. I mean, Mike Ashley went months without even going.
Years.
Oh, years was it? Oh,
no, it was a very long time. I remember when he used to turn up in a Newcastle shirt, and you went, "Oh, you're just doing this on purpose." He was I'll give you a little. He was born very close to where I used to live in the UK, Burnham. He's from Burnham.
Oh wow!
So it's Slough way. So he's originally from around there. But yeah, random question. But thanks, Jay Barton, for that one. It's a good question. I like that one. Get more questions in. These are quite cool. Big up Sam Smith now. Which international tournament did any of you first watch / experience? World Cup or Euros? So what was your first World Cup or Euros? Is that what I'm assuming?
Yeah.
2014.
I'll let you go. Mark, you go first.
I'm showing my age now. The first one, it wasn't the first one I was alive for, but the first one I can remember is Argentina, 1978, with all the ticker tape and all the final when there was ticker tape everywhere. And just after that, we Spurs bought Ozzy and Ricky.
Yeah.
And I would have been 7, 8. And the next thing, Ozzy and Ricky are walking out of White Hart Lane to ticker tape.
Yeah.
You know, and believe you me, when Ozzy and Ricky turned up at Tottenham, a foreign player at that time was someone from Scotland and Wales.
Yeah.
You know? To bring two Argentinians in.
Oh, is he an Argentinian player?
Yeah, to bring two Argentinians in was unheard of. It was groundbreaking. When we brought, it's like I said, 2 foreigners would have been someone from Wales and someone from Scotland.
Yeah.
Or Ireland, maybe.
Yeah, or an Irishman. Yeah. That's foreign players back then.
Steve, what was your first World Cup / Euros, or I'll say Copa America? That's the American
2014 World Cup.
Which one?
2014 World Cup.
2014. God.
I've only been watching since 2014.
Mine was the one in South Korea, Japan, 2002 World Cup. That was the first one. I was 10 at that point watching it. So I was 10 watching it. That was the first one I watched, obviously, the 98 World Cup, but I was only 4. No. 98, I was 6. So I wasn't old enough to sort of understand it. The first one I watched, I remember going to school watching it because it was played so early on in the morning, weren't it? That 2002, and it was like like 8 o'clock in the morning. Games are on. We used to get dropped off at school, and we used to have the projector going in the assembly hall, and all the kids that wanted to go and watch it would get dropped off early in the morning. They did a little breakfast club thing, and everyone would sit and watch the football in there. I remember that's a little story. It's weird how you remember your first sort of World Cup and stuff. Yeah, so that was the first one I properly was old enough to watch, and I remember it all. That was when
that was the first ever like football match I watched full stop. Brazil-Croatia, the opening game of the tournament. Yes. And I was like, ooh, sports kind of.
I still remember the opening game wasn't Brazil-Croatia. It's always the host.
Yes, it was the Brazil World Cup. It was
apologies. I'm thinking of this. Yeah. Sorry, you're right.
Apologies. I remember Modric. I remember Luka Modric was playing. I remember freaking Brozovic, I think, was there. It was freaking that Brazil team was so good. That was probably the last like really good Brazil team. And then the 7-1 Germany thing happened. And I remember it was day 2. USA was playing Ghana, and we scored a minute in. Dempsey. And then Ghana scored later in the half. And then John Brooks scored in the 90th minute. And like I was hooked on football from there on out because I was like, yeah, this is sick.
No. Good question. Like that one. That was good.
I feel ancient now. Everyone's saying it was 1990 World Cup.
Question
it was nearly in black and white.
Sam Smith, if you're still in the chat, you need to explain this. Do any of you eat whilst watching Spurs? Or do you want to eat food? Well, I thought you meant just a Spurs Newcastle game. Sometimes.
Yes,
Depends when
At
it
the end
is.
of it, I'm normally drinking lager.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do.
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, yeah. Sometimes I say.
Yeah,
I'm always eating freaking chips or pizza. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, you eat absolute junk, mate.
Yeah, and I weigh like
Nothing.
40 pounds, so it kind of works
You
out.
the
weigh
way Spurs
nothing,
play at
don't
the
you?
moment, though, it drives me to drink.
Yeah, true. I don't drink anymore, but I just
No, I
don't
don't
take
drink
it
a lot.
I just don't take it serious anymore. Big up, thanks for the question, Sam Smith. Now, Kuda said, "Does Son know he's being exploited by Levy? Son isn't being exploited by Daniel Levy. Son is making a fair bit of money because
Well,
of
yeah.
it. Let's be fair. Let's not pretend that Son isn't being well off because of this. Like he's
Let's not
making
act like he's a child being
Yeah,
exploited for
yeah.
child labor.
Son
or something.
isn't. It isn't because Son isn't being well off. Like he would be there involved in a lot of this. So,
Yeah.
like, let's be fair. He was.
And
He's
also,
getting a
he's
fair chunk
loyal.
of change. He's getting a fair chunk of change, isn't he, off the club?
He's also very loyal to Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he
Didn't
would
he-
want to stay anyways, even if it wasn't the money.
No, I agree. So let's not.
So
Oh, pity old Son's getting this, that, and the other
No.
nonsense. Like
No.
not a freaking child, or
we
he's
all know Son is not.
a grown ass man and he wants to stay at Spurs.
I feel sorry for him on 200,000 a week.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
You
I feel sorry that he's
Yeah.
sat there and all that.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
you're only making 200k a week.
Son is making 200k a week plus a lot of royalties from a lot of these Caribbean companies joining Tottenham.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
not
of course.
pretend-
Yeah. He's probably
Let's
good.
not
Well,
pretend he's not getting percentages of royalties and stuff. Because
let's
of it.
just say Sonny's dad is the driving force behind Sonny, or he was in that documentary I watched.
Yeah.
Sonny's dad's a very clever man, and
Oh,
I bet he's negotiated percentages of royalties and
100%.
yeah.
Thanks, kudos for the question. I don't
Yeah.
think he's being exploited at all. Is my point.
No,
Big up, Nige.
I wouldn't mind being exploited for 200k a week.
Yeah, I'm
If you-
about-
as long as you get paid-
No,
I-
I'd struggle on.
you could objectify me. You could freaking.
No one's objectifying you, Steve. Sorry. Your hair's not long enough. Big up, Nige, by the way. Who do you see us bringing in January? Big up to you, my friend. Good question.
Nobody.
So
Nobody.
who, Steve, I'll start with you. You've already.
Ooh, I got a good answer.
Here we go. Go on, Steve. Go on. Who do you think Spurs will bring in?
The random trash player who used to be good once upon a time and gets no playing time nowadays is Thomas Lamar, Atletico Madrid.
Possibly. For me, I think I actually don't know. I hear all this talk of the likes of Skriniar and stuff like that. I just don't see that happening. I don't see stuff like that happening.
That would be a competent move, Perchy.
Yeah, it would be quite, but I just don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know the answer. It sounds really sad and depressing, but I don't. I think we'll bring in a centre half at some point. We might bring on maybe someone even like Kolo Muani's been talked about. We might bring him in, but I don't sit and look at Kolo Muani. Everyone will jump out of their skin because of it. I don't look at Kolo Muani.
Play a freaking game in his life.
I don't look.
Everyone was screaming for a left back, but now Reggie's done all right. I can't see us getting one of them.
Oh, I don't. I'll be honest.
I don't know.
It'll
all be done on the cheap anyway. It normally is.
Yeah. No, we will get in a bit part players here and there, and that's how it will be.
Yeah.
That's how I see. Yeah, I think we might get in Kolo Muani. I think that's possible.
And bring in
This is one of the first times I've not got all those apps that keep you up to date with all the transfer news because I don't really care.
I don't believe it.
I don't care anymore.
Until they're holding the shirt at Hotspur Way, hold the shirt up, Hotspur Way.
But I don't. Do you know what it is? Is even at that point, I don't look at it and go, the player we're going to bring in. I go, wow. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I don't look at a player and go, wow, we've just gone and brought in.
I've had this discussion on loads of podcasts. Like the last player that I went, wow, was Klinsmann.
Yeah.
For Tottenham, Klinsmann. He was the last one that I went, wow, because Klinsmann had just lit up in the World Cup.
Yeah.
In USA '94, and we brought him in, and it was like, wow, he was like captain of Germany and all that. All the rest of them, you think, you know.
What about when you signed Van der Vaart?
When he was around the same time.
Berbatov. Were you excited by
But
that?
Berbatov was a bit of an unknown.
Yeah, I wasn't
We
excited.
made Berbatov.
Yeah. That's the thing is, you should remember. Yeah, Van der Vaart was probably the last one I went, okay, wow, okay, we've got in a player from Real Madrid, right? Like, whether or not he was on the decline at the time, not I say decline, but
Yeah,
latter end of his career, I went, wow, we've just put in Van der Vaart. That's a big signing.
yeah.
Like, even when we got in the likes of Gareth Bale and Reguilon and stuff, when we got those back
They
from
were
Real Madrid,
kids. Gareth Bale was a kid. We made Gareth Bale.
I'm talking the second time when we got him in on
Oh,
loan.
all right. Yeah,
People
yeah, yeah,
jumped in that one because of the. And even then, I was like, "Oh wow, we brought in Gareth Bale."
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
I wasn't. I knew the context is the right word, right? I knew the context of us getting him in, right?
The thing is with Tottenham, like you look at when Modric come in, he wasn't the player that he was when he left. Nor was Berbatov.
Yeah,
Definitely not Gareth Bale because he was only a kid. Harry Kane, he come through the system. You know, so we don't sign anyone that makes you go, wow. We just create them and then sell them on for vast profits.
The last time Newcastle signed a player, and I went, "Wow," was Tonali.
Oh yeah. Oh, when you got signed,
I was like, "What?"
Wow. Now you brought in.
First of all, I never thought that he would have left Italy or AC Milan because that's his boyhood club. Number two, I'm like, he's fucking great. He's a great midfielder. So
Mate,
I was like, wow.
That's a top.
The player I remember Newcastle signing back in the day that I went, wow, was Shearer.
Yeah.
But that was head over heart with Shearer because Shearer was the top striker in the country with Blackburn. They just won the league. Man United was all out because Man United were the best team around at that stage. But he heart over head, and he went to Newcastle.
Yeah, no,
big up to him for that.
It wasn't that much.
Because let's face it, he could have gone to United and won everything.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree.
Is
it surprising though, considering Shearer is a Newcastle boyhood fan?
Well, no. That's what I said. It was head over, but it was heart over head. I don't remember which way to put him right.
No, I agree.
What about when you signed Gascoigne? Was that a wow signing for you?
I wasn't.
Gaza was sort of again. Gaza, when he came to Tottenham, yes, he was good at Newcastle, but he exploded onto the world stage after we'd signed him. You know, everyone knew about Gaza when we signed him, but he wasn't the player he was.
From Lazio, right? You signed him from Lazio.
Lazio signed Gaza from us. Lazio signed Gaza from Tottenham. But when he was at Newcastle, yes, people had heard of him. And yes, I think we paid about 2 million quid for Gaza.
Good amount back then.
But Gaza really burst onto it because you remember Italy. Well, you weren't born, and you won't either. If you remember Italia '90, he is the only player that I've seen in a World Cup that's got something named after him. Gazamania. It went mental in this country. Gazamania was everywhere with his all this on the pitch, like drinking and all this stuff. Like Gazamania was wild. But he was at Tottenham then. Tottenham made Gaza what Gaza is.
Yeah.
So you weren't excited when you signed him?
Not really. You
didn't really think he was like, okay, fair.
Well, no, he was known. He was known as an exciting footballer, but Gaza was almost like Gareth Bale. Because Gareth Bale was even less known than Gaza was. But Gareth Bale, we made Gareth Bale. Well, Harry Redknapp made Gareth Bale because he pushed him from a left back to left midfield, and the rest is history.
Yep.
But
no, I agree with that. You're right. For me, I think we just don't buy those level of that level of play.
We don't buy the ones that are at that level, and we bring them in, and we all go, wow.
We're now not
we
even
buy prospects like your Gareth Bales and your Gazas, and then they make us go, wow. And then they make us go, wow, and then we sell them.
Yeah. I agree. Guys in the chat, by the way, can you please like and subscribe as well? We're going to wrap up shortly in about 10 or 15 minutes. I've set the redirect, going to go straight over and watch me manage as a manager, the elite manager that is Perchie. He's going to be managing.
How many times you've been sacked now?
I've been sacked twice. I got sacked at Tottenham and sacked at Aston Villa. At the moment, as of recording, we are at Lille. Doing a fine job at Lille, by the way. Lovely little club.
You'd won Aston Villa a European trophy, though.
No, I won Everton a European trophy.
Everton.
I left Everton.
That's right.
So I'll give you sacked at Tottenham, left Everton after winning a trophy, went to Villa, didn't work out, got sacked, went to Lille. Let's just say I've done quite well with Lille. And let's just say there might be something down in the recordings. If you keep watching, something might happen. There's a little spoiler. What I'll say, guys, please go and smash a like and subscribe. Please go to Mark's new channel and subscribe. And Steve, if you go and want to watch some random football in Europe, Steve's your guy. We've got a couple more questions. There's one for just Steve here that I'll leave in this for last. Last question here from everyone's point of view. Who is going to be in goal tonight by Future Music? Mark, I'll let you go first on that one quickly.
Well, to be honest, he's played every other position at the back, so I won't be surprised if they want Archie Gray.
Yeah, I like it.
To be honest, no, but surely it's too early for the new one, that Kinski, whatever his name is.
I think you throw him
Has he even got his work permit?
Yeah, I think he's allowed to play. I think he got his work permit signed and agreed in time. I think he has to play, and I'll explain why.
Really?
I think you've got to throw him into the deep end. Why wouldn't you?
I would have put the one from the Newcastle game in. He was man of the match.
Yeah, but I agree. I thought he had.
He's been at the club forever. He's 26-year-old.
But then, if that was the case, why are you going spending £12 million on a goalkeeper?
Well,
if you're going to play him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Look, no disrespect to Brandon Austin. I said this. I was on the show with Savvy yesterday. I said this on that show. Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman are the luckiest boys in the world because they don't have to do anything and get paid. One gets paid 15 grand a week. The other one gets paid 7.5 grand a week to basically be weekly trainers. Like, do you know what I mean? They don't do anything else. And they're only here because of their affiliations with the club and that they were trained through us. But that's the difference, right? Look, credit to them. Fair play, but if you go and spend 12 million pound or whatever it is for a goalkeeper and don't start him, that's mad. He's a goalkeeper that was playing first team football in the Czech Republic. If he doesn't start to a player that got in goal because he was a bit of a handout, no disrespect to Brandon Austin, Alfie Whiteman, not credit to them for doing whatever, but surely, Steve, the new boy has to start. If he's available, he has to start, surely.
Nah, you're gonna do something Spursy and play Austin against Liverpool. You'll play Kinski against Tamworth.
You think?
Yeah.
See, Austin playing against Tamworth, don't mind it. Don't have an issue with that. Play him there. But for me, if you're going to spend money on a goalkeeper and then not play him, that screams of madness for me. But that's my own opinion on it. And let me know in the chat. In the chat now, whack in there. Just a name. Just put in a name. Who's going to be our goalkeeper tonight? I'm going Kinski. You boys think it'll be Brandon Austin? Am I right in saying that?
I wouldn't mind Brandon Austin.
Yeah, I think y'all will start Austin.
I want him to start the goalkeeper, the new boy. But Jennings, brilliant. I want him to start the new boy. But I do think he'll probably actually start Austin. But what I want and what this guy does is polar opposites. Let's wrap it up in a moment. A few of you are going Kinski. We reminded because of his name, Kinky.
Did you see my comment?
Yeah, I saw it. Of course.
I thought that's what made you laugh.
That is what made me laugh because it's such a you thing to say. And Tekken has a question for Steve is how many goals did Alan Shearer score pre-Premier League? So pre-92.
Oh,
question. I don't know the answer.
He was at Blackburn then.
Southampton.
Yeah, huh? Southampton and Blackburn, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Good point. Yeah, yeah.
Premier League.
Pre-Premier League, yeah.
Pre-Premier League, he would have been at Southampton.
And
yeah,
Blackburn.
Exactly. I don't know. 20?
When did he join Blackburn?
91.
He was
Yeah,
still he was at Blackburn pre-Premier League.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's look this up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Guys, thanks for the question, Tekken. Thank you very much. Guys, couple minutes. If you've got any more questions, throw them in quickly. We'll answer them. We're going to slowly wrap it up. As I said, I'm going to put my my video on literally bang on after this, so it will go live as soon as this finishes, so you can sit and put your feet up and watch me manage like a proper manager, or not, or just take the piss out of me. You're welcome to take the piss out of me.
Do you play two at the back?
No, I play a very not rigid's the wrong way. I play like a 4-2-3-1, but it's all about width for me. I play two midfield DMs that just sit in front of the back four to allow my wing backs to push further up the pitch and allow
Sort of like that's like Pochettino style.
Kind of. So I play like an anchor that sits in the mid into the back four, and then I have Scott McTominay, who's my ball winner in midfield. And then I have two wing backs that assist the wide men and just dominate out wide. I've got a big boy up top that just wins every header. And that's how I'm winning games at the moment with Lille. That's my little tactic. There you go. I've moved it over, and I'll tell you guys off stream because I don't want to ruin it for people that are watching it.
There is a quick question coming from Paul G, if you can find it.
Obviously, yes, Paul G, yes. First game you went to. Oh, that's a good one.
Montreal Impact versus Toronto FC, which is a big derby in MLS. That's my MLS team, Montreal. So derby was my first game.
What's yours, Mark? I've been intrigued to know what your first game was.
I honestly don't know what, but I would have only been 4 or 5 years, because you got to remember I would have been 4 or 5, sort of mid-70s, and that's when all of the trouble was going on.
Yeah.
And my dad said, there was like fights and hooliganism all over the place. My dad always said he would never take me to Tottenham if he thought there would be trouble at the game.
Like you wouldn't take you to Spurs West Ham.
Yeah, no. There was none of that. There was definitely no Spurs Millwall, Spurs Arsenal, Spurs. So we used to take me to games like Spurs, say, Nottingham Forest, where there's no rivalry. But I'll tell you what, some of the things I saw back then, it was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
I bet.
And I was only like 4, 5, 6. So I honestly can't remember the first game I went to, but I was at the last home game in 1976 or 7 when Spurs were relegated.
Oh, wow.
Because there was a pitch invasion. Because many years later, I said to my dad, I remember being on the pitch at Tottenham. I said, what was that for? What did we win? And he said, that was the day we got relegated. Right, because there was people on the pitch picking up bits of turf and taking it home with them.
Yeah.
Like souvenirs. And so all the Tottenham fans was on the pitch and we got relegated. That would have been 77. But I'd been before then. So I probably went to see that season or the season before when we were crap. Because we had a very poor team back then. In 77, we got relegated.
If one of you two can guess my first football match, then I will do nothing. But can you guess it? I'll be amazed if you get it.
Is it a Tottenham game?
It's not a Tottenham game. I have said it on stream before, by the way, on charity.
No, I know where you were born. Was it a non-league game?
No.
Oh, so that's Slough out the window then.
It's not Slough, no. Slough Town.
No.
Big up the Rebels,
Yeah.
Can anyone in the chat just guess it? I'll let you. It's not a Spurs game, and it's not a non-league game.
So it's
Espanyol versus.
I wasn't born in Spain.
I don't freaking know.
Seeing as where you were born, it's got to be sort of.
Paul G, not an international game.
Was it
not an international game? And not.
Is it a London game? Somewhere like QPR or something? Because I know that because it's ain't QPR from Slough.
I'm gonna say yes and no to that, and you might get the answer from that. They kind of are considered London, but sometimes they're kind of not considered London.
Fulham.
Reading.
No, Fulham are definitely London, not Reading.
I don't know.
Others think further, think higher up.
Barnet.
Paul G, there you go. Watford.
Oh,
There you go.
Watford.
I went to Watford.
Yo,
I'll tell you,
isn't Barnet near Watford? No.
no, other
Well,
side. Other
No,
side. mate.
Barnet's sort of by
Oh, I'm
Arsenal.
thinking of Luton.
Barnet's-
Luton's near Watford.
Luton,
Yeah, it's not by Arsenal, isn't it?
Luton's near Watford. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
my first ever game was Watford versus Wolves. My first ever game in the Championship, and the reason being, and I'll explain it. Watford was close to where my was closer to where my cousins live, and my grandpa, God rest his soul, was a massive Wolves fan. I've taken my nan to watch Tottenham play twice, and we've lost twice, so I refuse to take her again. I took her to Wembley, and they beat us. I took my nan then to the new stadium, and then they beat us again. 2 years on the bounce, but yeah, no. My grandpa was a massive Wolves fan, and he took all the family to watch Watford versus Wolves. There you go, little bit of a story for you.
Wait, what year was this?
How old am I? I want to say
Watford.
I want to say like either 2001, maybe 2000. Maybe I can't remember. I can't remember the age I was. It was a long time. It was before I sat there and actually got into football. My first ever Tottenham game was Tottenham versus Liverpool in the Carling Cup semi-final. It actually was Tottenham Liverpool Carling Cup final, and they beat us on penalties. And I bawled my eyes out in the stand because my mum's a Liverpool fan. That is actually no word of a lie. It's ironic for today. That was my first ever Tottenham game. They beat us. Do you remember that year that they beat us on penalties at White Hart Lane?
Yes.
Yeah. That was my first ever Tottenham game. I cried my eyes out. Yes. There. There was another question. I did see another question in there. Big up George. We'll wrap these up. Will Ange get sacked at halftime? Nope. Ange ain't going anywhere. I'm telling you. Ange will not go anywhere. I'm telling you.
I think he will go somewhere, but
He will at some point, but he's not going anytime soon. Anytime soon.
No.
And Steve, our magical man that's up here, put a question. What happens if Spurs lose to Tamworth?
What do you mean if? What do you mean if? When?
Look, as I always say, I think we will beat Tamworth. But what I will say,
how confident are you in that?
But what I will say, if I was a Tamworth manager, do you know what I'd say? I'd say stay in the game as long as possible because you'll get stay in the game as long as you can because you'll get an opportunity against Tottenham. By the way, I think we beat them. We will beat them, but yeah.
No, the manager, Tamworth's manager, will just look at his team and be like, "It's who they are, mate."
Yeah, no. If I was sat in there, I'd be sat in the dressing room going, "Watch them play,
lads."
They are open as anything. We are going to be as rigid and as defensive as possible.
Yeah.
And we will get. The thing is, you know, when you're playing lower league teams, right? You play lower league teams. What they will do is they'll just go, do you know what? We'll soak up pressure. And the longer the game goes, the more pressure goes on Tottenham, right? So, look, I think that's how it would be. I think Spurs will win 4-1 against Tamworth. I think we beat them 4-1. But it wouldn't shock me if we lost it. I'm at that stage at the point. It'd be so funny, wouldn't it?
I am so tempted to put $5 on a Tamworth win. I'd probably make like $400 or some crazy shit. Let me look it up. Actually,
nah, Tamworth aren't beating. They're not going to win. I'm.
It's worth a $5 bet.
I mean, you'd get some. The bet you should be doing is Tottenham to win the tie. No, sorry, Tottenham to win the game. But both teams to score. That's my bet for that. I think Tamworth will get a goal on us. Guys, we're going to wrap up now. I'm going to send you over to watch one of my weird videos and stuff and go over there and check it out. Please go and like these amazing people. Someone in the chat, throw their link. Mark's is pinned. So someone dumped Steve's link in the chat. Go and subscribe to them. Everyone. Help everyone out. Look, it's a grind doing YouTube. And every little bit helps. I'll always stand by. But much love, guys. Look, come on, you Spurs. Let's try and beat Liverpool today. Get a result, and we can take something. What I want is take something to Anfield. Even if it's a 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw, take something. Guys, last words from you boys.
Don't lose to fucking Tamworth.
I love it. Mark?
Oh, bloody get off my land.
Get off my land. God, I love it. Guys, make sure you go over to the make sure you go over and watch the video. Just check it out. It's just a bit of a laugh, right? You know what I mean? It's a bit of fun. It will be starting in about 5 minutes, I think. If I save that now, it should be starting now. So please go check it out. Much love, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. And see you later.